Welcome back to the War Room. We got some big stuff coming up today. Uh, as is the usual, the Cities of Sigmar book gets leaked a couple days after the rules get released on Warhammer Community. So we have screenshotted those, and we are going to be running through that today. We're pretty excited. As always, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, we're going to be doing a lot more stuff like this, once a week kind of thing. So go ahead, subscribe, like this video, comment if you think this is, if you have ideas about rules or whatever. But let's just hop into this. Corey, what do you like about the book so far?
There's a whole lot, actually. I think this is basically what Cities was meant to be. And that's kind of the core identity is like found itself a little bit more. Orders have stayed. We'll get into this all. We'll go through the whole book. The whole book has been leaked. We'll go through it all, or the whole battle tome rather. But a lot of it is pretty good. I
Yeah.
There's a few things that I would say I don't really like, but other than that, I think everything is a hit. So
Yeah, it'll be interesting. We don't have points yet. We can
no,
kind of take a guess at what roughly things would be points wise, but until we actually see what Games Workshop says the points is, we can't do a whole lot with
yeah.
list building. We can kind of guess, but
We have
yeah, let's
points for
just
two things, and that's gallants and grenadiers.
yeah. We're assuming the COG Fort is between 400 to 500 points, depending on which one, but we won't know until it
Yeah,
actually comes out.
I know that. Yeah, we'll we'll see about that. Cause yeah, but I mean, so we can just get into it, and we can start with the faction traits or the battle traits for the faction. And so, like I said, we can go through. I don't know how we want to do it, but we can go through it. How it starts is orders. I mean, so it's identity is the same as how it was, but instead it's a little bit different. So now we get an ability called Form Up. So I'll read it. So it says, pick a friendly Cities of Sigmar unit to use this ability, then pick two other visible friendly Cities of Sigmar units wholly within 12 inches of it to be the targets. The units using this ability to be the targets cannot be under orders and must be a different unit type. Then the effect is for the rest of the battle round, the unit using this ability and the targets are under orders. So let's just start real quick. This book is like the wordiest book I think I've ever read. The battle tome is just kind of a nightmare. If you like just glance over it, you're just like, for me, I'm like, what? And I've been playing cities for a couple years. um I played some cities in second edition. This is like, yeah, this is the wordiest I've ever seen it. So kind of what this means is you pick a unit. Doesn't have to be a hero, just pick a unit, and then you have to have two other units, so you pick two other units, and all those three get what is called under orders, and that basically means those units can receive orders throughout the whole round. So you do it at the start of the battle round, and then through the both turns, those three units can get orders. Now, this is not a once per battle or once per army ability, so you could do this multiple times at the start of the battle round. A couple stipulations there. In the ability, you can't pick the same unit type. So if I had Free Guild Gallants, Free Guild Cavaliers, I can't have two units of Gallants and then also pick a unit of Cavaliers. They all have to be separate units. It List building is going to be a weird thing now, but so that's the
Yes,
stipulation, right?
it's really gonna focus on you having a variety of units
Yeah.
and having that synergy between all of them to work out instead of just being like, I'm gonna spam gallants, I'm gonna spam
Mhm.
cavaliers. The most efficient way is gonna be to have enough units of different varieties to be able to maximize your orders,
Yep.
essentially.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and because you can do this multiple times at the start of the battle round, you're gonna have like you can have like little pods of three. Like you want to have, so you could have a pod of a cannon, fusiliers, and an ogre warhulk, and then somewhere else on the map you could have gallants, cavaliers, and a cav marshal hero, and they all get this under orders. And once they get the under orders, then they don't have to be in range of each other. So to get them, they have to be in this tight little pod, thruple, I guess. And then they can move and do whatever. But you kind of have to have the fourth sight of at the start of the next battle round. Am I going to be in position to form up again? So you kind of want to have to plan throughout the whole game of like, okay, if I do move my cavaliers and I do want to charge, if I charge up, do some damage, kill a unit, are they going to be by themselves? Because if they're by themselves, then they can't form up, and the whole army. And we'll see if you are under orders, every war scroll just gets better. If you're not,
Yeah.
you could really get caught out. So that's going to be the crux of this book. So, anything else to add to that, Noah?
I don't I don't think so. And it's more of just an efficiency thing because like you were saying, if your Cavaliers did get caught out and you needed them to be under orders again, you could do it again, but it would just be them, right?
No,
And
it's
right
actually
because you can do it as just the one.
nope.
You
So
can't.
you have to have three. That's the problem here. So the stipulation is you have to have like you it doesn't say may pick two, you have to pick two other
You have
units.
to.
So if you pick your
Interesting.
cavaliers and they're out there and they're not in range of anything else, they can't
Yeah.
receive orders. So
Okay.
that's the
Well,
that's yeah.
it's as far as play style too. It's still maintaining what cities
Mhm.
were with the orders that you can only uh it's once per turn, and like once they're under orders then they can't get more. Is that the stipulation, or can
Well,
you continue to receive orders per phase? I mean,
yep.
we'll get in here and we'll read
Yeah.
it, but
Yeah, once they're under orders, they can receive as many commands as the command allows, if that makes sense. A lot of
yeah.
these commands, we'll get into them, are once per turn per army, so it's like, but you can, that unit, say you Cavaliers, you can give them an order in the charge phase, an order in the combat phase. There's two charge phase orders. You can give them both in the charge phase and then the combat phase order. Like, you could give them all to that one unit.
Yeah.
But if you give them all to that one
Sweet.
unit, then you can't give them to somewhere else.
Other people.
So,
Okay, we'll hop into that next one. It's called Take Aim. This is once per turn per army in your shooting phase. Pick a friendly unit that is under orders to use this ability. Pick one of that unit's ranged weapons. Add one to hit rolls for shooting attacks made with that weapon for the rest of the turn. So that one's pretty simple.
yep.
Just plus one to hit your Fusiliers, your Cogfort. Um, I mean, anything
Cannon,
that has shoot. I don't know.
yeah.
I don't know how much more shooting you really have that you're gonna really want to
Gate
truly be using this on.
Gargants, yeah,
Yeah,
something like that. But I mean, it's really good. I mean, because if you use all out attack on a different shooting unit, boom, it's you got
yeah,
two of
yeah.
all out attacks in the shooting phase. So
Yeah, pretty
simple.
straightforward
Yep.
there.
The next one, this is one of my favorites. So this is called Sound the Attack. This is a charge phase order. It's once per turn after the charge ability. Like, so you roll the dice, and the effect is you can change the lowest d6 charge roll to the match the highest d6 charge roll. So so you'd roll 2d6 to charge. You know, if you rolled a 7 but a 5 and a 2, you could change the 2 to a 5 and your charge is a 10.
Yeah,
It's like the Kairos of the charge phase ability.
as long as you roll at least one 4 up, you're getting pretty big charges every
You're getting,
time.
yep. And this is after, so you don't have to spend the point before you charge. You can see, like, if you roll and just barely missed your charge, but you rolled a 6 and a 1, then you got a 12.
Yeah, yeah,
Really good.
that's pretty awesome.
Okay, you want to read the next one for us?
Yeah, so the next one is a combat phase, once per turn per army, in any combat phase. Into them, you dogs. So pick a friendly hero that is under orders to use this ability. That unit is the field officer for the rest of the turn. Then pick two other visible friendly non-hero units that are under orders and wholly within 12 inches of the field officer to be the targets. So once again, you got to have your three units nice and close.
Yep.
And so for the rest of the turn, the first time the field officer uses a fight ability, you can pick a target that has not used a fight ability this turn. That target is inspired, and the other target is emboldened. The inspired target can be picked to use a fight ability immediately after the fight ability used by the field officer has been resolved. Then, if the emboldened target has not used a fight ability this turn, it can be used to pick to use a fight ability immediately after the inspirited, I keep saying inspired, inspirited target's
Same
fight
thing.
ability has been resolved. So essentially, you fight with your hero first, and you can chain activate two
Yep.
units that are wholly within 12 of him that are also under orders.
Yep.
So like you were saying, if you have your Cavalier Field Marshal, Cavaliers, and Gallants, and they're all right next to each other, you could essentially fight if you did the order. I don't know why you wouldn't do it in the right order, but you do the hero and
Yeah,
then one and then the other. All three of them fight before your opponent gets to activate anybody, which is pretty gnarly.
yeah,
Like
it's
that's
really
kind of
gnarly.
insane.
It's so wordy for just like you would think they could just say both of them fight immediately after. I'm sure there's probably some reason that it specifically says what it is, but it's basically Lumineth in cities.
Yeah, yeah.
is what it is, and that's
And
any combat
that's
phase.
going to be very very good.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, yeah, it's gonna be, yeah, especially we'll get into it, but there's just so many things you combine, stack, and yeah. So the next one is Hurl Them Back. It's another combat phase ability where or order says pick a friendly unit that is under orders in the combat with an enemy that is charged this turn. So if you got charged, for the rest of the turn, add 1 to the rend characteristic of this unit's melee weapons. I mean, it can't get much better than that. Just if you get charged, +1 rend. The good
Yeah,
thing about
your gate
this,
gargant's probably Rend 3, right?
yeah, rend 3, damage 3. Yeah. And this is an army that wants to get charged. Like everything in the book is just like it wants to get charged, so it's just going to be extra scary for the person to decide to charge you. And I mean, not much more to say than that.
I mean,
Uh,
cities have been designed to be able to take a hit since the
yep,
beginning of time.
yep,
So they're going to do this, but I feel like now they're going to hit back super hard with some of these abilities that we're going to get into
yeah.
in War Scrolls and whatnot because it's insane.
An important distinction too with this ability: this is not, it does not give them anti-charge +1 rend. So there are some other war scrolls later that have anti-charge +1 rend, and it
So you get that
stacks
too.
with this. So if you get charged, you can potentially get up to +2 rend. So
Dang.
pretty
Well,
scary.
uh, note to self: don't charge cities of Sigmar.
Just play it safe.
just
Yeah,
just don't fight them. Just run
yeah.
away.
I don't know what you're supposed to deal with this. The book, and kind of as an overarching, and I maybe should have said this at the start. It seems very good right now. All new books are usually really good. And maybe I'm biased because I play cities, but this seems pretty cooked. Like we'll see. And points can change everything, but
Yeah, yeah. Everything is 400 points. You get 4 units.
exactly, yeah. Yeah. So we can move on to
Awesome.
formations, and
Yeah.
there.
You want to start us off?
Yeah, sure. There's 4 formations. The first one is Stalwart Guardians, and it's a passive ability. So it's each time a friendly unit that is under orders uses a rally command, you can make 3 additional rally rolls of d6. So it's just when you rally, it's
Classic.
if you're under orders, so you have to be under orders. You get 9 dice to rally. Easy.
Which would be pretty awesome considering because gallons are 2 health, correct?
Gallons are 2 health. Yep.
So it's like getting 3 extra dice, and you could get potentially. I mean,
Now
if you rolled super well, you could get 4 of them back.
imagine this.
But
All right, let me paint you a picture. You roll 9
yeah,
dice. Gate Gargants are 8 health. One's dead. You roll perfect almost.
back
you
up,
bring a
baby.
gate. You bring a gate guardian back. No, but
Yeah,
yeah.
that's
So
that's that's pretty good. I don't think that's like anything
no,
too crazy though.
no.
Next one is Zealous Hordes. So this is once per turn per army. It's a reaction when your opponent declares a fight ability. For the rest of the turn, add 1 to wound rolls for combat attacks made by friendly Sigmarite units that target the enemy using that fight ability. There's not a whole lot, I feel like, in AOS that gives you +1 to wound.
Mm-mm.
Granted, this is when your opponent declares a fight ability onto you, so you have to
You have
survive
to
the
get
fight,
hit.
yeah, to get that +1 to wound.
Yep.
But I mean, a +1 to wound is awesome all the time, especially
Yeah.
considering how tanky that Cities of Sigmars are going to be. Getting +1 to wound could be pretty awesome.
Yeah. And the whole book, I think it is rare to see a war scroll in this book that doesn't wound on fours. Most of the
Yeah,
time,
yeah,
in fact, maybe everyone wins on fours. So it can feel bad to win on fours. So this can kind of
yeah.
change that. But you have to take the hit. All
Yep.
right, and then the next one is Masters of the Arcane. It's another passive ability, so it's add 1 to arcane manipulation rolls and banishment rolls for friendly wizards that are under orders. We'll get into that. Another keyword for Cities of Sigmar because we don't have enough. Arcane manipulation is a special ability that every wizard has that is like additional to their casting, we'll get into it.
And this is going to be big for Erasmus Zahn, right? Because he does a lot of he's the
Yes.
banisher. When we get to him, we'll re-hit this again
And
because that's a big part of his thing is the manifestation swap thing that he
him and the
does.
Alchemite Warforger. It's like if you take an Alchemite Warforger, you might want to take this, and we'll get into that later. But
Okay, and
the
then the
last one,
last one is swift reinforcements. This is once per turn per army in your hero phase. Pick a friendly non-hero Cities of Sigmar infantry unit wholly within friendly territory to use this ability. If that ability is in combat, it can move 6 inches. It can move through the combat ranges of enemy units, but can only end that move in combat with units it was in combat with at the start of that move. It does not have to end the move in combat. If that unit is not in combat, it can move 6 inches. It cannot move into combat during any part of that move. Um, this is kind of like I view this as like strike and fade light because
yeah,
since you're not able to tag extra units into the combat, you might as well uh, leave the combat, and then you can. And it's essentially like a free retreat too, because it's in your hero phase. You can retreat, you can move them, I guess, and then you could actually do their normal movement after that once they're out of combat. I
yeah.
don't know.
I think of it like a kind of like a mighty destroyer from Iron
Yeah,
Jaws.
exactly.
Like
Yeah,
to me, it seems really strong. Maybe there's something I'm missing for it, but I mean, it seems pretty.
especially in the hero phase, it is an infantry unit, so you couldn't like do
It's
this with your
locked.
cavaliers and
Yeah,
then book it across the board.
but
But
six
like
inches is
it's
that's a
more than
lot.
your normal movement with most
Yeah,
of your
yeah,
infantry. So
exactly.
it's like
Yeah,
so
it's
you can do that,
faster.
and then in the hero phase, then you can move them again, and then you can charge them again.
Exactly. Yep.
I picture this with like your Fusiliers. If your Fusiliers are in combat, they get
Oh
tagged
yeah.
up. You can get them out, and then you can shoot and do whatever you need to do.
Or even people that,
Readjust
yeah, I mean, the whole army can get so slippery, but yeah,
the slippery cities of
the
Sigmar.
slippery wall. Yeah, but so yeah, I mean, if I were to pick a favorite, it'd probably be the Masters of the Arcane, the Collegiate Exemplars, just because we'll see it later. But it's super simple, and but we'll see it later. But
Yeah. Yeah, I don't feel like any of them truly stand out as like this is the one you have to
no,
take. I feel like that's what a lot of battle formations are. There's always one or two that's like this you're only going to use those two. I don't feel like other than maybe Masters of the Arcane, like the rest of them I don't think really stand out to me
yeah,
too much as you have to take that one.
+1 to wound is going to be good, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that
Yeah.
lines up. But okay, should we move on to the traits?
The traits, let's do it.
So first is the heroic traits. So first thing to note, these are for heroes. All COGFORTS are heroes. I didn't expect that, but they are. Any heroic trait or any artifact you cannot take with COGFORTS. COGFORTS can't take artifacts or traits. I don't know why they're even heroes at that point. But so yeah. So it says any hero can take them other than the COGFORTS. Now, that being said, the first one is Stentorian General. So it's a passive ability. Subtract 1 from ward rolls for enemy units while they're in combat with any visible friendly units that are wholly within 12 of this unit and under orders. So if your hero's there, you're within 12 of someone within orders, and they're fighting you, uh, you're -1 to your ward save. It's pretty
Gross.
pretty strong.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
pretty straight up, pretty awesome.
yeah. These heroic traits I think are like really good, all 3 of them.
Yeah.
But
The next one, Grizzled Drill Master. Other visible friendly units have a ward of 6 plus while they are wholly within 12 inches of this unit and under orders. So
simple.
essentially, when you're running around with your little pod of 3, everybody's got a 6 up ward save.
And it doesn't say
Other
non.
other than this guy, because
Yeah,
it's other visible friendly
but it's
units. But
it's not it's not locked to anything. So a cog fort, granted, a cog fort's big, so you have to be pretty tight with it. But a
gonna be
cog
base to
fort could get
base.
this right. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Um, and to note, this the army cities of Sigmar in the index and even before was known for ward saves. I think that's gone. In fact, I know it's gone. They're not a ward save army anymore. There's ways to get ward saves, obviously, but they're not
Yeah.
always going to have a 5 up ward like they used to. So, change. So this could be good. And then the last one is Beloved Leader, another passive ability. We love passives. Ignore negative modifiers to hit and wound rolls applied by enemy abilities for attacks made by visible units that are wholly within 12 of this unit and under orders. So your guy's there, anyone next to him, if there's like, oh, you're -1 to hit or you're -1 to wound, nope, because I'm under ordered and I'm next to my hero. It's just like, oh, I think of like Iron or like a KO, like all their boats give -1 to hit if you're close. Say no,
Yeah.
not for me.
Deepkin's entire first
Yeah,
tide.
yeah, it's oh yeah. So
I think that's probably the one I would pick. And
I think
it kind of
so.
depends on the build you're making too,
Yep.
I feel like if you want to be really aggressive and be in combat a lot, I think this is the one to go, or the ward save one. But like if you want to just sit down and be tanky and you're just going to kind of sit and wait, I mean, giving everybody a 6-up ward save, I think
And
is also just
it's
good.
attacks. It's not combat attacks too. It's range.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Yeah,
so
your Fusiliers can shoot through cover essentially as long as they
yeah.
can see them.
Granted, if you do covering fire, it's not an enemy ability, so you'd still be -1 to hit there. But
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I mean, it's still incredible ability. So okay, should we move on?
Um, yes, this is Artifacts of Power here.
So
Uh,
this is COGFORT enhancements.
oh, is this? Oh, I
Yeah,
can't see the title
yeah.
here. It's
Sorry,
not
this
loaded
the
up.
screenshot's kind of classic, right? So these are artifacts that you can take only for your COGFORTs, but I believe. Oh, I gotta read the wording, but a COGFORT can take them. I don't think multiple COGFORTs. Like if you take 2 COGFORTs and less, I don't think you could have 2 of
Yeah,
them.
I bet it's one to give to
Yeah,
one.
is what I would guess. But so the first one, it is these names crack me up. The prototype Arco Combustor Uninhibitor. Whatever. It's a
Yeah.
once per battle in your movement phase. Uh, for the rest of the turn, you add 3 to the move characteristic. This unit can shoot even if it's used to retreat. So it retreats and shoots, and then if you retreat, no mortal damage is inflicted. So basically, once per game, if your Cogfort is in combat, you can retreat and shoot, and you add 3 to your move. So once per battle,
Its move. What's its move normally? Is it 10?
6
6. Okay, so it gets up to 9,
up to 9. Yep.
which is
Which
considering that
there's ways to
it's
up it even more, so it could get up
yeah.
to 13
So you can
with
be
this.
quite quick
You
if
can
you
be
use this.
quite fast Cogfort. Yeah. Once per game though.
Cogfort that's faster than a turtle.
Faster than any of my cavalry. Yeah, it's yeah. But
Okay, next one is the Grapple Net Launcher. This is once per battle in the enemy combat phase. If this unit did not charge this turn, pick an enemy unit in combat with this unit and that charged this turn to be the target. Subtract 1 from the attacks characteristic of the target's melee weapons for the rest of the turn. This is pretty awesome considering that it's not a roll; it just happens. It
yeah, it's
is
just
once per
done.
battle,
Yeah.
but like if you get hit, because I think the way to take down the cog fort is going to be a ton of rend or just a ton of
Just
attacks,
swamps.
and this
Yep.
can kind of mitigate if someone swarms you with a bunch of brutes or something.
Oh yeah.
You're just -1 attack. You're like, okay, perfect.
Brutes are like blood hags or like sisters of slaughter stuff like that. Just like oh yeah, you're
Yeah,
down to 1 or 2 attacks. Like
yeah, yeah.
like
All of your
Zangors.
plus. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
stuff like that. That just like rely on like mass quantity of attacks. It's pretty good once per battle, but
Yeah,
I mean it could get you out of a pinch. And then the last one is emergency bellows. End of any turn. So this is every turn, end of any turn. Remove 1 of the unit's heat tokens. We'll get into that. Basically, the cog forts kind of build up heat, and the more heat they have, the more damage they can take. And so this is just you remove 1 at the end of every turn. Off the bat, I'm going to be taking that one, and we'll see why. But
yeah,
that's just
yeah. I think all of them are pretty good though.
Oh yeah,
I'm a huge fan of retreat, like
yeah,
being able to retreat and do stuff. Like I I think it's better than like run and charge. I know this isn't retreat shoot charge, but it's retreat and shoot.
yeah.
But like I'm a huge fan of being able to retreat and not take mortals.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah. No, I think all of them are good. But okay,
sweet.
now we
Now we're
get
on to
yeah,
artifacts
we
of
get into
power.
artifacts. Yeah,
So once again, you give this to a hero, but you can't give it to the cog fort because even though it is a hero, they said this is going to be too wild
yeah.
if we
I
can get
guess
all this stuff.
yeah. I don't know why you can. Yeah, I don't know. But okay, do
So
you want
first
to start us
one,
off?
Yeah, Last Blade of Ember Guard. This is a deployment phase ability. This unit can use this ability while it is in reserve. Pick one of this unit's non-companion melee weapons. Add 2 to that weapon's attacks characteristic and rend characteristic for the rest of the battle. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
Just
I
like
mean,
just buff up one of your heroes a ton.
plus two to rend is like,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So
2 attacks, 2 rend. You're probably rend 1 base because you're a hero already, so you're going to be a rend 3
yeah,
hero.
there's a lot of heroes that are rend two, so it's like, or there I say a lot. There's like 2 heroes that are rend two that can take this.
Yeah.
But I mean, imagine rend four hero coming at you.
Rend 4 plus 2 attacks. Like
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I
coming
don't
out of the cog fort with +1 damage.
exactly. I don't know if I'd take it, but it is very tempting
It's
to.
cool, yeah.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen a thing that says plus two to your rend, so it's like, oh, the
Yeah,
the
that's
wow factor.
gnarly.
All right, this one is maybe one of the wordiest abilities in the game, or in this book. So buckle up. So this is an artifact. It is in your hero phase. It's called the Sphere Celestial. So if this unit is not in combat, pick a point on the battlefield, just on the battlefield, more than 3 inches from all units, friendly and enemy, and terrain features to be the target point. So then pick another friendly visible Cities of Sigmar infantry or cavalry hero, so it has to be a hero, that is wholly within 18 inches of this unit and not in combat to be the target unit already. So basically you pick a point anywhere on the battlefield and then you pick another hero that's close to you. And then what you do is you remove this unit from the battlefield and set it up again within 1 inch of the target and that is not in combat. Then remove the target from the battlefield and set it up within 1 inch of the target point that is not in combat. This unit and target can then use a move ability in the following movement phase, exactly opposite of what the core rules say. All right, so
Yeah, so it's a essentially a teleport that you can move off of,
it,
essentially.
yes, but it's like a weird it's like an ender pearl from Minecraft where you throw it to the hero, you teleport to the hero, and then that hero teleports to the point. So you like slingshot a hero to anywhere on the board.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it to me, I'm like, whoa, uh, like because you can go outside of 3 of combat. So if you do have a really fighty hero that you just like, I'm just gonna send him in. There's like a chaff unit or like an artillery piece that you need to get in there or like tie up. You have a foot marshal with the, you just send him in. It could be nuts because then you can't move after you teleport
Yeah,
and
yeah.
charge. So I don't know. Seems
I
pretty
think
nuts.
because isn't Erasmus Zahn's whole thing like being in a corner of a
Yeah,
battlefield?
yeah.
I think this could be used to get him
Yeah,
there,
yeah,
right?
because he's a
With
cavalry
another
hero.
hero.
Yep.
So that could be the thing. We'll get to his war scroll in a minute and
Yeah.
then see kind of how it all
Weird,
works out.
weird
But
ability, but I think it could be cool.
yeah, it might just take too much brain power, and people are going to be like, I like to have my hero with +2 attacks, +2
Yeah,
rend.
exactly. But
And then the last one is Bones of Saint uh, Ignifius.
Ignifis, yeah, I don't.
This is a reaction when you declare a spell or prayer ability for a visible unit that is wholly within 12 inches of this unit and under orders. Add 1 to the casting roll or chanting roll of that ability. Um,
So it's
just
just
an easy +1 to cast, +1 to chant.
and it's an aura, so
Pretty good.
it's yeah,
Yeah, and yeah, it's not once per.
yeah, because I
Uh,
think it's just a reaction. I could be wrong, but as it was written, I
yeah,
think you just
yeah. If you, I mean, it would have to come from. I mean, there's not a whole lot of wizards that are also priests.
but
So
it's
so
of
it'd be like
this.
if
Oh,
you
sorry.
prayed twice, right, with the Pontifex or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So, but I mean, like anyone within 12 inches of this hero can get +1.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you had, there's a bunch of like small foot wizards. If you have 3 foot wizards and you're next to this
Yeah.
hero, all 3 of them get +1 to cast.
Yeah, no, it's nice not once per.
Yeah,
I feel like they're going really heavy into the magic side of things lately because
it
before
is.
they were like almost no magic.
Well, in second edition, there's a whole because like the Hollow Heart is one of the cities of Sigmar, and they're all magic based. So it's like, in fact, they're kind of bringing that back because they were really magic focused. Like you could kind of choose magic, guns, or melee, kind of.
Yeah,
And then
yeah,
this is kind of like bringing all those kind of back, but infused. So I think it's cool.
yeah. No, I think that's gonna be
There's some really
probably the
strong
one that I would
spells.
take.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's some really strong spells. So
So,
yeah, I think the sphere would be fun, but I think probably the +1 to cast bubble is just better.
especially considering how castled up you're gonna be most of the time, like
Exactly.
you're
Yep.
probably gonna be wholly within 12 of whoever you put that on
Yep.
with everybody for a minute. So,
Yeah. So
so you get to the spell lore now. You
yep.
want to start us off there?
Yeah, this I like these spells a lot. So the first one is Speed of the Twin-Tailed Comet. This has changed from what it was. This was same name, but it's a different spell. So 2 to 6, it goes off on a 6. For the rest of the turn, add 3 to the move characteristic of a friendly non-War Machine Cities and Sigmar unit. There's a lot of that. Basically, there's a lot of rules in this book that say don't target COGFORTS. And then while they are wholly within 12 of the caster. So if they're within the range of the caster, they're +3 to their move. Used to be 3d6
Yep.
charge, which kind of hurts losing that, but +3 to move, we'll take it.
There's your +3 move order
Yep,
right
sad.
there.
It's a spell now, but yeah.
Yeah, it's much harder to
It goes off on a
have it
6,
happen.
so I can't complain about that.
Yeah, not too crazy,
No.
but next one is the Curse of Scorched Metal. Goes off on a 7. Pick a friendly Cities of Sigmar wizard to cast it. Then pick a visible enemy unit within 18 inches of them to be the target. Make a casting roll of 2d6. Until the start of your next turn, the first time the target uses an attack ability, for each unmodified hit roll of 1 for an attack made by the target as part of that attack ability, inflict 1 mortal damage on the target after the attack ability has been resolved. So essentially, I mean, I think you try and target units that have a ton of
Yeah.
attacks with this, because any time they roll a 1 to hit, then they do
Mortal
mortal damage
damage.
back
I
to
mean, it's like
themselves.
the anti-crit. It's like it's to me
Yeah,
it seems
yeah.
really good
No, this seems awesome.
for right cases, right? Yeah, because you're not gonna do it like like a Gargant. You're probably there's no point to that.
Yeah, but you
Um,
see anything that's a horde of stuff coming at you. It's 2 attacks or 3 attacks. Like clan
yeah,
rats, you got 40 clan rats running at you. You're
yeah,
like, oh
exactly. Yeah,
baby.
yeah. Clan rats or even like Chaos Warriors and stuff like that. Like even them, like they have
Yeah,
like 4 attacks a pop that with like corn. Or, honestly, Slaves to Darkness is awesome because with
yeah.
corn they just get so many
Daughters
attacks.
of Cain. You've got
Yeah.
the
Oh,
Sisters of Slaughter booking it
yeah.
towards you. Like,
Yeah. I mean, it's strong. I like it a lot.
yeah, no, that's really good. It goes off on a 7, so it is a little
Yeah.
harder to get off, but
Um, bringing it back just a little bit, I've realized I missed something on the last spell. The
yeah,
spell you don't target a unit, so it's every unit within 12 inches of the wizard that casts that spell gets +3 to their move.
yeah.
A lot better than I was actually
Which
thought.
is much better than just one
Much,
unit.
yep,
Yeah,
yep. So
especially considering once again you're going to be in a castle and
it's gonna
everything's
be
going to be
tight. Yeah.
probably wholly within 12 of you, and if you're running the thing where you're +1 to cast, like
Oh yeah, it
you
goes
need it
off
on
on
a
a
5 on the
5. Yeah,
dice, like that's going to be pretty
yeah.
easy to do. I feel like.
So just wanted to go back because I'm like, oh, that's actually a lot better than I thought. But
Yeah,
then
no,
we
that's
have,
good.
I think, the best spell in the lore, if you ask me, and it's High Stars Light. It goes off on a 6. Pick a friendly Cities of Sigmar wizard to cast, and then pick a Cities of Sigmar unit wholly within 12 inches. And then the spell is you add 1 to the attack's characteristic of the target's melee weapons for the rest of the turn. Yeah, +1 attack. It's always very good. I mean, Gallants, Cavaliers, COG4. One more attack for COG4. No, I mean, I guess, yeah. I mean, it doesn't say companion, so you couldn't do the COG4, but
Yeah.
you get it. I mean, +1 attack is always so good.
Yeah, and yeah, anytime you can get an extra attack,
Oh,
I mean, your Cavaliers, your Gallants being +1 attack,
even
like that's
Steel
just going to be
Helms. I mean, like
nasty.
Steel Helms, I think are they're in. I think Steel Helms
Yeah,
are
they're
their
going to be
their
good.
their time in the light is here.
They're going to be cheap and they're going to be good.
Yeah, but so can't complain about this. What I can
Awesome.
complain about though is the prayer lore.
Oh yeah, prayer
Yeah,
lore is a
it's
little
meh.
underwhelming.
Yeah. So if you
So
want to
the
start
first
us
one
off,
is called Holy Aegis. Goes off on a 3, which we like to see that.
Yeah.
um, Pick a friendly cities of Sigmar priest to chant this prayer. Pick a visible friendly cities of Sigmar unit wholly within 12 inches of them to be the target. Make chanting roll of d6. If the chanting roll was 7 plus, you can pick another eligible target to be a second, an eligible unit to be a second target until the start of your next turn. Ignore the first damage point that would be allocated to each target in each phase.
So just
I
shrug.
mean, yeah, that's pretty good, especially going off on a 3. Like,
Yeah.
you probably get that off most times if you do chant it. Um, Playing Hellsmiths, I have the priest that just shrugs damage, and that's always nice because a lot of times, you die to the wound, or you're 1 over or 2 over or whatever. You're like, man, if I would have just had something to just block any amount of this damage, it's kind of nice.
Yeah, shrugging is always better than I always think about it, but yeah.
Oh yeah, no, it doesn't seem like it matters, and then once it starts adding up,
Yeah,
then
it's
it
like,
then it
oh yeah, never mind.
it's pretty awesome.
Yeah. And so the next one is Reckoning Sinners. It goes off on a 5, so it's big boy. Pick a friendly city's Sigmar priest, chant the prayer, and then you pick a unit within 12 inches of that. And then if the chanting roll was a 10, then you pick another second target. Until the start of your next turn, each enemy units have a maximum control score of 1 while they're in combat with any target. So it's pretty good. It's pretty strong. Control is like here and there, right? It's good. Sometimes, most of the times, I feel like objectives is you kill the other person on the objective or you don't. So it's like
Yeah,
who's alive and who's not. That person obviously controls the objective, and whoever's dead
it's
doesn't.
it's rare that you have to like count up how much control score you have. Like it
Yeah,
maybe happens like once every other game where you're like actually have to sit and count, be like, well, I have a banner, I
yeah.
have this many guys. Like,
I will, but I think cities might be in the case now where they might, because like they still don't have like a crazy ton of bite. They do have a lot more bite than they used to, like damage output. But a lot of it, I think, it might actually come down to control score more of like with when you play cities because you kind of want to just like stick in these little pods of 3 and then just sit on objectives or so it might matter, but
yeah,
not my
yeah.
favorite.
And then the last one is Benediction of the High Heavens. This also goes off on a 3. Pick a friendly cities of Sigmar priest, chant the prayer. Pick another visible friendly cities of Sigmar unit wholly within 12. Make the chanting roll of d6. Heal d3, both the target and the chanter. If the chanting roll was 7, heal d3 for each visible friendly cities of Sigmar unit wholly within 12 inches of the chanter instead. Um, I feel like you're just gonna chant this.
Yeah.
If you have a priest, you're
If
just gonna build up points till you get to 7, and then just heal everybody. I
well
think I think is kind of the goal.
that or just like cog fort. It's
Yeah,
like
exactly. On a 3, just healing D3 is pretty awesome, especially since this is a thing that can actually affect the cog fort. We've seen a lot of stuff so
yeah,
far that is
non war machine.
non war machine. We've seen a lot of that, or just straight up the cog fort can't use this with
Yeah,
like the traits and stuff.
yeah,
So this being able to do that on your gate gargants on the cog fort, like I think it's gonna that's just gonna be the only prayer you really pray. I feel like unless
yeah.
you want to be tanky and shrug damage,
That and like
but
the individual prayers on the war scrolls, but that's really it.
yeah,
Just gonna be healing.
awesome.
I mean D3 plus a rally on the cog fort hopefully will make your cog fort not die. So
Yeah, yeah. Considering it's a ton of health and a solid save,
yeah, ton of health.
like
Yeah,
like it's gonna be really hard to take it down.
yes, yeah. Granted, it's a
But that
big
gets us,
thing. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. That gets us out of the all the rules portion. We're gonna hop into War Scrolls
yeah.
now. So,
So
would you
start.
like to start us off with the redemption arc of
Yeah,
Talia
Talia.
Vedra?
I mean, I've always been a Talia fan. I have a love-hate relationship with her because I run her all the time, but I hate her when she dies to a stiff breeze sometimes. But okay, Talia, um, move 12, health 15, control 5. What the change here is she has a 3-up armor save. Used to be a 4-up, now a 3-up. A victory for Cities of
Let's
Sigmar.
go. Huge.
Running through attacks, and we'll kind of go through the attack profiles fairly fast, and then abilities we'll focus on a little bit more. But she has 3 attacks, or 3 separate profiles. One of them is the Weapon of Office, which is 6 attacks, hitting on 3s, wounding on 4s, rend 1, damage 2. Then she has the Jaws, the Lion Jaws, which are anti-monster plus 1 rend, and it is 3 attacks, 3s, 2s, rend 2, damage 3. and then the Stinger, which is new, which it has. Well, the Stinger's not new, but it has crit mortals, which is new, and so that is 2 attacks, 4s, 2s, rend 2, damage D3 plus 3. So it can do. She actually can do quite a lot of damage. Then the kind of the abilities for her, she charts and on 10 damage, her jaws go down to 2 attacks.
Classic.
Don't know if we need to focus on that, but
From
kind of.
from 3 attacks down to 2.
Yeah,
Woo.
I know you lose 1 attack that's probably gonna miss anyways.
But I will say the fact that it's not the Stinger is way better, I feel
Yes,
like.
yeah, because the Stinger's already at 2 attacks. It's like, oof,
Yeah, if the Stinger were
forced.
down to 1.
You're gonna hit with 1 average, right? And then so, but crit mortals, you
But
hope that.
those times where you roll double sixes on that bad boy,
Oh,
whoo.
I know. Just, but okay, so kind of uh, her abilities have changed quite a bit. So she has a once per battle in the combat phase, any combat phase, is you pick if this unit is in combat, each visible friendly Sigmarite unit within 12 inches of her uh, get this effect, and it's add 1 to hit and wound rolls for this turn. I mean, awesome. I mean, right? I mean,
Plus the wound is goaded.
and it's each unit
Yeah,
that she
they
can
do have to be
visibly see.
wholly within, but once again, this castle is just going to be set.
Yeah, and she's fast, so she can fly alongside a cog fort. Cog fort comes in, gallants roll out, and it's just like, okay, perfect. So there's that. Very good. And then she has a rampage, where her rampage is pick an enemy unit within combat unit of this target, roll a dice. If the roll is equal to or less than the target's health characteristics, subtract 1 from wound rolls for the target's attacks for the rest of the turn. So if you have a health, it's good for monsters and big things because you have to roll less than the health. So if you have something that's 6 health or more, you're always going to get it, and that thing will be -1 to wound. Awesome. I mean, that's pretty good. Now, if you have an inventory of 1 health, then it's like 1 in 6 chance, but
Bummer.
it would be awesome if you get it. But she's a piece to go into monsters and big things. That's kind of always what she's been, and that kind of stayed true. Then she has another ability, which is it's in the enemy hero phase. It's 3 claw steps ahead. I'm just gonna say it there from Skaven. You pick a Sigmarite infantry unit wholly within 18 inches of her, and that is not in combat to be the target. Also, Talia has to not be in combat for this to work. So if she's not in combat, she picks another infantry unit that's not in combat, and that target can move. And they have to be, and then if they are not in under orders, they get under orders. So it's cool, like if you have a straggler unit out there that couldn't get the orders, have them make a normal move, and then they instantly become under ordered for that whole battle round. So pretty cool.
Yeah, nice.
Talia, big glow up.
Big glow. We'll see how many points she comes out as.
If
That's always going to be the question with her, because even at what she got down to what 260 or whatever it
260, I think.
was,
Yeah, 260. Yeah.
and she just still wasn't really worth
Well,
taking in this last.
I think like she kind of is now, but obviously, I think this Talia I would take at 300. I would
Yeah,
even maybe
yeah.
even go to like maybe 320, but still
But
awesome.
it is truly a huge glow up.
Oh yeah, she has a 6 of ward. I didn't mention that she has a 6 of ward. So
Sweet. We'll go
okay,
on to the Conqueror Cog Fort.
yes. So there's 2
Um,
kinds of COGFORTS that you can
and
take in.
this one is the flamethrower one,
Yeah, so there's
correct?
the Conqueror and the Cannonade. So, and this is just in base cities. There's other ways to unlock different variants of the COGFORTS, but this is just in base cities, the Sigmar. You get these 2. So, sorry to interrupt, but
No, you're good. You're good. Um, the screenshot got cut off, but based on the other one, it looks like 3 up armor save, 6-inch movement, the 25
it's
health and
25
10
health,
control.
10 control.
Yeah, that is a beefy boy.
Yeah, 25. It's the same health as Archeon.
Yeah,
And
these are gonna be fun.
yeah, no ward save inherently, right? So
Yeah.
3 up armor
So
save, 25 health.
yeah, it is just beefy.
Yeah.
So this one, it's got the Realm Scorcher flame cannon for a ranged weapon. 18-inch range, 6d6 attacks, hitting on 2s, wounding on 4s, rend 1, damage 1. It is anti-infantry plus 1 rend, so we rend 2 into infantry. 66 attacks is crazy because I feel like you're either going to get 6 attacks or 30
or
plus.
30, yeah.
Yeah.
Because
And
if
then
you,
you've got the cruise lead shotters, 12-inch range, 6 attacks, hitting on 4s, wounding on 3s, rend 1, damage D3. Those also have shoot and combat, which is
yeah,
nice. So if this thing does get stuck in there, you can kind of shoot your
shotgun,
way out. D3 damage is pretty awesome.
yeah.
So
No, it's not nothing. They're shooting combat shots.
yeah. And then it's crushing iron feet in melee. This is your companion attack. 4 attacks, hitting on 4s, wounding on 2s, rend 2, damage 4,
I mean,
because it just literally crushes you.
it's not nothing. It, even in combat,
Yeah.
it can still kind of mess you up
I
if you
mean,
roll hot.
that's max 16 damage there. So in combat, which is
Yeah.
probably not gonna happen super often, but if you can, yeah, I mean, you all out attack it. You're on 3s
Yeah.
and 2s. I mean,
In desperate
could
times,
be
call for
could be
desperate
wild.
measures.
Battle damage when it gets 10 damage points, the attacks of the crushing iron feet go down to 3, so you lose 1 attack there, and then it goes down to a control score of 5. So, not too not too crazy
No,
there. I mean, control 5 is already pretty awesome. I mean, control 10 is
it's good.
you're not gonna move that thing off of objectives super easily.
No.
Um,
So here's kind of the Conqueror is the flamethrower, and like basically this is the ironclad version of the Cog Fort. Like you can take people in it. So the whole kind of idea of this one is like taking passengers. So the next couple of abilities are kind of all about that. But
yeah.
do you want
So
me to read
first
these?
one,
Or you?
all
Oh yeah,
aboard.
go for it.
I can take these ones. We got all aboard. This is in the deployment phase. Pick up to 1 friendly Sigmarite infantry hero and up to 1 friendly non-hero Sigmarite infantry unit that have not been deployed. Set those up in reserve as this unit's passengers. They've now been deployed. So there's your little garrison right there. Um, and then I mean that's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Uh, then we go to overheating. Do you want to do that one first or the full
Go full
charge?
charge.
Yeah, go
Yeah.
full charge first. So once per turn per army in any hero phase, you can use full charge. Pick one or more of the following effects. For each effect you pick, give this unit a number of heat tokens equal to the number beside it. So 1 heat token is breaching assist. If this unit uses the Sally Forth ability this turn, melee weapons used by the targets of that ability have charge +1 damage for the rest of the turn. We'll get to what Sally Forth is here in a second. 2 is full throttle for the rest of the turn. This unit's move characteristic is 10 inches. Remember, we talked about it earlier. You have the thing that can give another 3 inches of
Yeah.
movement. So this thing can get up
You
to
can hustle.
13. Yeah, he can zoom.
Yeah.
For 3 heat tokens, you've got repel borders. For the rest of the turn, add 2 to the attack's characteristic of this unit's crew's lead shotters and crushing iron feet. Putting crushing iron feet up to 6 attacks. And the lead shotters up to 8 attacks, which is pretty gnarly. Disengage safeties for the rest of the turn. This is the 4.1. The attack's characteristic of this unit's Realm Scorcher Flame Cannon is 22. So that just gets you your guaranteed.
It locks on like an average flame.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which I don't know. If I'm playing a random
No,
shooting characteristic, I'm gonna risk it
I'm
every
rolling the
time.
66 every time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then for 6, you've got the get us out of here. For the rest of the turn, this unit can use shoot abilities, even if it used a retreat ability in the same turn. So
You still take the damage if you retreat.
you still take the damage, yeah,
Yep.
but you get to blast,
Mhm.
which is fun. We'll hop to Sally Forth real quick since we already kind of mentioned that one. This is once per battle in any charge phase. If this unit has not used a run ability this turn, pick this unit's passengers to be the targets. Set up each target wholly within 6 inches of this unit and either not in combat or within half an inch of an enemy unit. If a target is set up in combat, it has charged. Then, if this unit is not under orders, this unit and the targets are under orders for the rest of the battle round. So, do you want to take a crack at that? Because I know this is what
Yeah.
you're all about right
I mean,
here.
I've been scheming this since I heard about this kind of in the rumors, right? So basically, you can have a unit in off the side of the board that's inside a unit and a hero. And then what you do is you have them on the side of the board. You march your cog fort up, and then you can use the ability Sally Forth, and you drop them. Either you can drop them anywhere, just next to it, or if you're in combat, like you can drop them into combat. And then you use the full charge, which we read prior, and then you can give them charge +1 damage. So any infantry unit basically has access to +1 damage on charge with the cog fort. So gallants that are flat damage 1, kind of, you put them in the you put 10 of them in there because it doesn't say a size of infantry unit that you can have in there. So you can have reinforced units in there. Obviously gallants are 10, or at reinforced they're 10 guys, they're 5 normally. So you can get them up to like 30 attacks rolling out of the cog fort at damage 2. So it's like pretty gnarly. Or even like grenadiers are base damage 2. They come out of the cog fort, they're damage 3. Gallants, we can kind of get them even up more damage, but we'll talk about that when we get to their war scroll. But it is an incredible ability. Like the options you have with this army is just like multiplied with this war or with this cog fort. Like at first I'm like, the shooting attacks. I mean, 66 shots is just cool, but you take this cog fort for that ability right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
You
incredible.
the buff, yeah, not only like it's a buff piece on top of all the other stuff that it does is really cool.
Yeah, well, and I like
So,
in like the hero phase, like, okay, I know this is my go turn. I'm gonna do because you can pick multiple of the full charge abilities. So you say I'm gonna do breaching assist, I'm gonna go full throttle, and I'm gonna go repel borders. So that makes your movement 10. It means when I drop units off, I'm +1 damage, and also my crushing feet have 2 more attacks. So it's like I'm just gonna run the cog fort in, charge, drop the guys off at +1 damage, and then instantly you
yeah,
have a hammer.
potentially the threat range on the cog fort with the guys inside is 28 inches plus the 3 inches if you get the thing off. Your
Yeah,
31-inch threat range essentially
yeah, oh yeah,
with the cog fort,
it's crazy.
which
It's
is, almost the same as, something that's movement 14 with a run and charge.
Yeah,
Like
and it's any
it's
charge phase.
crazy.
So if you wanted to counter charge the cog for it, you can.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're in a spot where you can do that, you might as well.
Now reason with me here, right? So if your cog fort is under orders, right? That you're going to receive orders. They receive the counter. You say, okay, I'm going to counter charge it. You roll the dice, then you flip the lowest charge dice to the highest charge dice, and so you could have, like, I think average is like an 8 to 10 inch counter charge with the with the cog fork and just rolling up. It's
Well, and on top of that, you can deploy the guys wholly within 6. So you got an extra 6 inches to get
Yeah,
those guys. Like it's nuts. It's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah. And then like it's a hero and that. So we'll get to heroes and you're like, oh, there's some heroes you're just like, this is like an auto pick for who's gonna be inside the cog fort.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
incredible. And if that
It's gonna be
unit
so fun.
they get under orders as soon as that, so they're gonna say, oh, and the maybe I have to, and there's just a whole bunch of stuff to it. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's incredible.
It's gonna be awesome.
The whole book, you could focus on this for the whole book, and you're like, all right, I'm good.
Yeah. We could spend 2 hours talking about the strategy and
Yeah,
whatnot of just using these.
exactly.
But the last thing here is overheating.
Yep.
So immediately after resolving this unit's full charge ability, you must roll a number of dice equal to the number of heat tokens this unit has. For each 5+, allocate 1 damage point to this unit. Ward rolls cannot be made for those damage points. Then remove 1 of this unit's heat tokens. Um, I
So
since it's only on 5-ups, I think you just do as many of those as you think you should.
it
Like,
gets a little, yeah, I think so. I think your go turn, you just like full throttle. It gets a little scary though, because you can't make ward saves. Obviously, if you had a 6-up ward save for this thing,
yeah,
you can't make that. But so if you roll the 5-up, you take the damage, then you remove that point that did that damage, but you still keep whatever you don't remove,
because you only take off.
what you do the damage for.
Yeah,
Because it says for each, so it's like it's weird. It's weirdly worded. Some people are like, "Oh, you only remove 1," for how many ever damage you take. Doesn't matter. But so say, you get 6 heat tokens, you roll 1 5-up, you take 1 mortal damage, but you still have 5 heat tokens left over. So then on your
Yeah,
next turn, if
exactly.
you add 5 more, then you're instantly at 10 heat tokens. So you can really start to rack up heat points, which is a little scary because then
Well,
it's like you might just like blow up.
well, that's why you kind of mentioned it earlier with the emergency bellows,
Yes.
the the enhancement you can give to a cog fort. You remove one at the end of every turn,
Yep.
because you're probably gonna have like on I feel like on your enemy's turn, you're probably not gonna use full charge
No.
to do a whole lot,
No.
unless you're in combat already and you want to have those extra attacks.
Exactly.
But you're gonna be removing with that. You're gonna be removing, 2 every battle round
Yep.
to kind of mitigate some of that damage.
And you only overheat if you use the full charge ability. So if you have
Exactly.
5 points on you, yeah, you can just say I don't want to use the full charge ability and not risk
Yeah.
the overheat. But okay, that's Cogfort number one, the 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 favorite of the Cogforts, I think. But still, we got Cogfort number two. This is the cannonade Cogfort. This is the shooty version. Basically, you strap a giant cannon onto the top of it and call it good. So you have 3 different shooting profiles for this one. It's the same characteristics: 6 move, 3-up save, 10 control, 25 health. You have the Godbreaker cannon. It's range of 24. It's 4 shots. It's 4s to hit, 2s to wound, Ren 2 damage 4. It's like a cannon but less random and more attacks. And then you have the Breacher cannon, which is anti-infantry +1 rend. It's 12-inch range, 6 attacks, 3s, 3s, rend 1, damage 2. And then Cruise lead shotters, the same as the other one. It's the 6 attacks, 4s, 3s, rend 1, damage D3. It's the shotguns that are on the top. Godbreaker cannon. At first I was kind of underwhelmed when I saw it because it's just a cannon. But there's a lot of ways. I mean, the order. If you give this the shooting phase order, everything's +1 attack. So instantly, just this guy is 3s and 2s, 4 attacks, rend 2, damage 4. I mean, it can mess things up for sure. And it's 24-inch range, so it's like you're already at your 160 millimeter base, so it's like you're gonna be able to see a lot. This has the same damage, like the charting profile, so we don't need to talk about that. The full power, though, is different. So it's the same thing where you can pick one or more of the following effects, and then you get the heat tokens for that. The first one for 1 heat token is launch countermeasures. Until the start of your next turn, subtract 1 from hit rolls for shooting attacks that target other friendly Sigmarite units that are wholly within 12 inches of this unit and are under orders. So if you have anyone close to this that are ordered, you're -1 to shoot those units. It's an ironclad, but better. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
or sorry, it's the KO boats, right, where everyone's -1 to hit you. But it's a 12-inch range. A 12-inch range of a 160 millimeter base is it's like a quarter
Half
of
the
the
board.
battlefield. Yeah. So I think every hero phase, you're just gonna be you can kind of knocking that one up a little bit. Granted, you have to be under order to get the -1, but we're just kind of taking this whole book as you're gonna be trying to get under order.
Yeah.
So, okay, so then we have for 2 heat tokens, we have full throttle. For the rest of the turn, this unit's move characteristic is 10. Same thing as the other one. And then for 3 heat tokens, you calculate firing solutions. For the rest of the turn, each time this unit uses a shoot ability, you can re-roll 1 hit and 1 wound roll for the shoot into attacks made by the unit's Godbreaker cannon. So the big cannon, you can re-roll 1 hit, one wound. Awesome. I mean, I'll always be doing that probably.
Plus, with the all-out attack, like you're gonna
Oh, I
be
mean,
you're gonna be doing that
with the
a ton.
shooting order, you're already +1 to hit. And then if you
Exactly.
roll a 1 to wound, you're like, oh, guess what? It's like, cool. Yeah. And then for the last one, it's the same as the other one. It's the 6 heat tokens, but you can retreat and shoot. This
Yep.
one is pretty important for that. If you get tied up, you can
Yeah.
spend the
Yeah.
points. Overheating is the same thing. You roll 5 ups to do damage, and then you remove that heat token if you do the damage.
Yep.
Then you have a once per turn in your shooting phase. What it's reaction to when you shoot with this. So if this unit is under orders, you roll a dice. On a 3-up, pick one of the following effects. So it's 3 different ammo types that you can use for the Godbreaker cannon. So the first one you can choose is subtract 1 from ward rolls for damage that is inflicted by the Godbreaker cannon. The second one is add 1 to the rend of the Godbreaker cannon. I know. And then the third is after the shoot ability has been resolved for the Godbreaker cannon, if you target all one unit, um, you inflict D3 mortal damage on each other enemy unit within the combat range of that enemy that you shot. So it bounces, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, that is pretty gnarly. Those three. The bummer is it's on a 3-up,
Yeah. Yeah.
so that's kind of bad.
But it is not a once per battle though, so you can
No,
do this every time you
oh
shoot
no,
with it, which is
and
awesome.
yeah, and it is also cover fire because it's just declared
Yep.
um, the shooting. So if you cover fire with this bad boy, which I'm going to be cover firing with this sucker, I think a lot. You know, kind of a bummer, but on a 3-up. I mean, adding 1 to the rend of the Godbreaker cannon, making a rend 3 damage 4
Yeah.
is pretty gnarly.
It's gonna be wild.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty nuts. And I forgot to mention that the COGFORT has the same melee profile of the other ones, the feet.
Yeah.
The grippers.
The grippers, dude.
Yep. Those are
Oh
the
yeah, these
COGFORTs.
are gonna be fun to have.
I mean, oh, cannot complain about the COGFORTs.
And we'll get to the ones that everyone else can have here in a second too.
Yeah, that would be, yeah, those are the Regiment of Renown ones. So,
Yeah.
okay, should we move on?
Yeah, we'll hop into the Pontifex Zenestra. Um, 5-up armor save, 5-inch move, 9 health, 2 control. Melee weapons, you got Scepter of the Wheel, 3 attacks, 4s, rend 1 damage, D3, and then the Acolytes, Club, and Axe, 4 attacks, hitting on 4s, wounding on 4s, no rend, damage 1. It's got a passive ability, the Great Wheel turns. Each time a model in a visible friendly Sigmarite unit wholly within 12 inches of this unit is slain by a combat attack, and that model was in combat with the attacking unit, make a number of zealotry rolls of d6 equal to that model's health characteristic for each 6 plus, inflict 1 mortal damage on the attacking unit after the fight ability has been resolved.
So death roll basically, but
Yeah,
you roll per the health. So if you have 2 health unit, you roll 2 dice per model.
yeah. Which I like. I think OBR has a spell that does
I
this
think so,
now, I
something like
think.
that. Yeah.
And I like that more than just like if the model dies because it
Mhm.
feels a little better when
Yeah, I
it's like,
mean,
oh,
if you have
this
a
is
gate gargant next to it, you roll 8 dice.
yeah,
Yep.
exactly. So I like that. Just some death rolls. Um, and then this is her specific prayer. The Vessel of Sigmar goes off on a 5. Make a chanting roll of d6. If the roll is an unmodified 1, you can re-roll the dice. We love that.
We love it.
Um, especially, oh, so she's a priest too as
Priest 2.
well, so she
Yep.
can pray twice, which is nice. Um, pick one of the following effects. Pick up to 2 different effects instead if the chanting roll is 10 plus, which is pretty easy to do because you just bank the points on the first one,
Boom, boom. Yep.
and then on your second prayer you pray this prayer. Sanctified ground until the start of your next turn. Visible enemy units that use a charge ability while they are within 9 inches of this unit have strike last for the rest of the turn, which is pretty awesome.
Yep.
And then Ardent Prayers, add 1 to Zealotry rolls for friendly Sigmarite units until the start of your next turn. So just adding 1 to those death
So
rolls, which is
5
pretty
up.
awesome.
Yeah.
And then Cast Out Evil, roll a d3 for each visible enemy wizard and priest on the battlefield on a 2 plus, inflict an amount of mortal damage on that unit equal to the roll. So this is just killing wizards from downtown.
Yeah, it's changed from last edition. Number one, they have to be visible now.
Yeah, which is
Number
good.
2 is a bad D3. So
Yeah. So
I mean, all 3
I
of
don't know. I
those
think
are
I
like
think the strike last is probably what I would do most of the
the
time, considering you're going to be in a castle.
the charge phase one is a little hard though because it's use the charge ability while they're within 9 inches, so they already have to be 9 inches of the Pontifex.
Yeah,
So either that means your Pontifex is either means they're
front line, baby.
close or the Pontifex is in the front, which is either. But that being said, like how often do you see where someone moves up just 3 outside of your front line, right? So if you have
Exactly.
Steel Helms, Pontifex, someone moves up 3 inches from your Steel Helms, like you will be strikes last.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a bad example because Steel Helms aren't going to do jack to you, but like, yeah. I
But I
mean, you
mean,
get
like
it.
your Fusilier line too. Like,
Exactly. It's just like
chill
another
right
thing
behind
to
that.
think about for charging cities of Sigmar. The whole
Yeah.
army is just like, oh my gosh. Like, oh, don't.
She
Yeah.
also has a 4-up ward save.
Yeah.
I didn't say that
Yeah.
earlier, but
I
so
think,
she's not tanky, but she is tanky,
yeah,
kind of a
she's
thing.
deceptively
4-up
tanky.
ward saves.
Yeah. All of those abilities. I love the +1 to zealotry rolls. I love the idea of just like everyone in this bubble of you, like I will die and I will explode when I
Yeah,
die.
we are devoted to Sigmar, and we will
Yeah,
kill you as we go down.
like you want to kill a gate gargant, it's already hard enough, but when you do, I will roll 8 dice on 5 ups. It's gonna do a
Yeah.
mortal back to you. And that's per one
I'm
of them.
doing 2 or 3 back into you is
Yeah.
crazy.
If you one shot the unit, I will roll 16 dice, 5 ups do mortals. It's just like,
Yeah.
oof.
Yikes.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. So this is Erasmus Zahn. So this is the little wizard on the Griffhound weird chimera thing. So he's 12-inch move, 4-up save, 2 control, 9 health. So he's a cavalry hero, fast. Really bizarre rules though. So he has a ranged weapon. It's crit 2 hits, 10 range, 2 attacks, 3s, Ren 2. Not bad. Damage D3. So it's can actually spike sometimes. 2 attacks though, but and then the melee weapons is just the companion, 4 attacks, 4s, 3s, Ren 1. Damage D3 plus 1. Weirdly not bad. But it's still a wizard hero. Like you're not charging this dude in unless you're desperate. Um so first ability is the Lantern of All Knowledge. If this unit is wholly within 9 inches of the corner of the battlefield, pick one of the following. So if you're on the corner of the battlefield, you can pick either friendly Sigmarite units are not visible to enemy units within 6 inches. So basically what he does is you can pick this, and if you have Cities of Sigmar units within 6 inches of him, they're not visible to anyone else outside of 6 inches of them. These rules are so wordy, but that's that. And then the Lambent Aura, which is add 1 to this unit's power level. So basically he becomes a wizard 2. He's normally a wizard 1. And then Luminous Authority, which is add 2 to the arcane manipulation rolls for this unit. We still haven't seen those, just bank that for later. And then Prismatic Diffusion, which is add 3 to the attack characteristics of the Rod of Radiance, and it set its damage to 3. So it makes its shooting attack like good. Like it makes its shooting attack 5 attacks, 3s, Ren 2, damage 3. I mean, it's like it's pretty gnarly. And you give it the shoot phase order, boom, 2s, 3s, Ren 2, damage 3. I mean, it's like crit 2 hits. It's pretty solid. Okay, its ability. So this is pick a visible. This is the Realm Sphere Mastery. Pick a visible manifestation within 12 inches of this unit, and that was not set up this turn to be the target. This is the first one we've seen. Make an arcane manipulation roll of 2d6. So we'll see this a lot. And now he has the ability that makes it so he's +2 to arcane manipulation, or there's the formation where you can become +1 to arcane manipulation rolls. So this is the first one. Every wizard has an arcane manipulation. This is his. So make an arcane manipulation roll of 2d6. If the roll equals to or exceeds the target's banishment value, set up an endless spell that can be summoned using a summon spell that this unit can cast within 1 inch of the target and more than 3 inches from all enemy units, and other manifestations. This unit has summoned that endless spell, and then this target is banished and removed from play. Really wordy to say you point at a manifestation, you roll dice. If it equals the banishment value, you take that one out and you replace it with your own.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine if you have the Kronspine Incarnate.
Would that replace it though? Because it's the wording on those is if it's banished, you just take the damage instead.
Well, no, I'm
I don't.
saying if
I think
if
they're gonna.
I
I
if
think they're
I
gonna have
have
to.
the Incarnate,
Oh yeah, if
yeah,
you
if
have it,
I have the
yeah.
Incarnate, yeah. Because yeah, if you have like some Spite Swarm Hive and I say no, and then swap it with a Kronspine Incarnate, and it's also 3 inches from you. It's just like, so I mean,
Yeah, and then you're like, okay, I'm gonna charge you now.
and
You're
I'm
like,
gonna 3d6 charge you if you have another manifestation close. Yeah, it's crazy.
yeah, that'll be fun.
Yep. So then his other spell is cast on a 6, and you make a casting roll of 2d6. It says remove this unit from the battlefield and set up wholly within 9 inches of the corner of the battlefield and more than 3 inches from all enemy units. So that's how you do it. So this guy is not going to be playing the game at all, but he's going to be doing is casting a spell, getting to the corner of the battlefield, doing the ability to get the buff because he's in the corner, and then move to the move into the center, then teleport out to the corner. So he's going to be doing this like weird little vice grip. He's a weird
Yeah.
hero, but he's cool.
Yeah, he's gonna be all over the place on the
Yeah,
board,
yeah. I can't complain.
which is pretty fun.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. We'll go to the Alchemite Warforger next. He's got a 5-up armor save, 5-inch movement, 5 health, 2 control, and he is a wizard level 1. His melee weapons, he's got the Tong Staff, 3 attacks, 4s, 4s, rend 1 damage, D3. And then he's got 1 ability here. It's once per turn per army in your hero phase. Pick a visible friendly Sigmarite unit wholly within 12 inches of this unit to be the target. Make an arcane manipulation roll of D6. On a 3+, the target's melee weapons have crit mortals until the start of your next turn. So he's going to be a little cheap foot hero that I think you've got to take just for that. For essentially 3-up crit mortals is
And
awesome.
this is why I take the formation to do +1 to arcane manipulation rolls.
Yeah, so it's a 2-up on this guy.
It's a 2-up crit mortal. I mean, it makes anything just so much scarier. I mean, yeah.
And it's any Sigmarite unit, so it's
Yep.
not. It could be your
It could be the grippers of the COGFORT.
crit mortals on 4 damage each ooh, with 6 attacks. Like there's so much synergy with.
Yeah, it's a lot
I
of
think
yeah.
they've really begun to start cooking and chefing up some cool
Yeah.
stuff with all these new books. And this one is really looking fun.
Yeah, and like imagine you charge me. I'm like, I can also add +1 to my rend, +1 to my wound. I don't know. It's crazy.
Well, and this is to the start of your next turn
Yeah,
too.
start of my
So
next turn.
like you get it for 2 turns at least, and if they
If not
double
3,
you, it's
yeah,
3
just
turns.
like bring it on. This is
is
an
gonna be
army too where
awesome.
you are gonna be 5 drops most. I mean, it's always
Yeah,
Cities
you're
is
gonna have
always
so many
that.
heroes and whatnot.
Yeah. I mean, the Alchemite Warforger is an auto include. I think it's the first auto include we've seen. I mean, COGFORT is close, but
The COG is just to have the COG on the
and no
board.
matter the points, I will be taking Warforger. I mean, unless maybe it's like
Yeah.
300 points, but like, yeah, okay.
But he's not. I doubt he's gonna be more than
I bet.
200.
Oh, I doubt it. Yeah, I would bet he's like
Like I would say
150.
150.
Yeah. Can't complain. I mean, he's the man.
Yeah, he's the goat.
It's back. That was that was the start of 3rd edition rule for him. It's back, baby.
Yeah, that'll be awesome. He's gonna be good.
So then we got the Malice Forge Priest. This is another priest. He's a priest 1. He comes out in the new box, right? So he has 5 health, 4 up save, 2 control, 5 health. Cool. A meteoric warhammer. He has the warhammer.
Warhammer's back.
Which is 4 attacks, 4 straights, around 1 damage, D3 with crit auto 1. So it's a really strong. No, it's not. It's terrible. But don't worry about it. He has a once per turn army in your movement phase ability. It's pick an objective you control that this unit is contesting to be the target. If there are no enemy units contesting that objective, it is considered by you to be consecrated. Otherwise, you roll a dice. On a 3-up, the target objective is consecrated. And then while units are wholly within 6 of the consecrated objective and under orders, they have a non-war machine Sigmarite units have a ward of 5-up, and then Sigmarite war machine units have a ward of 6-up. So if your opponent gains control of the consecrated objective, it becomes unconsecrated. I mean, awesome.
Yeah.
This
Can the COG get wholly within 6?
I think just barely, yeah.
Because I guess because it can technically be on it, so it's not like.
Yeah, it can be on the objective itself, and then you have 3 inches.
Yeah.
So, and maybe is the strat. You just park it on the objective, especially the shooting one, top. And you have the Forge Priest behind you, just like,
you say, "Come get me."
And there's actually a couple of these in Cities of Sigmar, and I know we're taking a lot of time on WARSCROLLs here, but a lot of these abilities are either if you're under orders or like this one is if you have the objective it's free, but if it's not you still can roll the dice. I love that like rules writing of if you have planned for it it's free, but if it's not you can still roll the dice and still get a 3-up. So awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
Yep.
Next war scroll we've got is the Free Guild Marshal. This is the one on foot.
Yep.
5-inch move, 3-up save, 2 control, 5 health. Ranged weapons, you got the dueling pistols, 10-inch range, 4 attacks, 3s, 4s, rend 1, damage 1, I think. I can't really say. There's a
The
glare on it.
range damage 1, I'd guess. Yeah.
Yeah,
For the
I
shooting.
would be shocked. I would be
Yeah.
shocked if it was damage 2. It does have shooting combat, which is nice. So when he's in combat, he can still shoot. Melee weapons, you got the Master Forged weapon, 5 attacks, 3s, 4s, rend 1, damage. This one is probably 2,
Yeah.
would be my guess. His abilities, you've got once per turn per army in your hero phase. You've got the Attendant Relic Envoy. This unit's Relic Envoy is a token. Pick a visible friendly Sigmarite unit wholly within 18 inches of this unit and not under orders to be the target. Place this unit's Relic Envoy next to the target while this unit is under orders and on the battlefield, and this unit's Relic Envoy is next to the target is under orders.
So just
So
if you have someone not under orders,
essentially before.
Yep.
And then it's got another command point ability here. Once per battle per army, it's a reaction when you declare a fight ability for this unit. Spend that command point. If this unit is under orders, pick a friendly Sigmarite infantry or monster unit that is wholly within 12 inches of this unit, or has this unit's Relic Envoy next to it, and has not used a fight ability this turn to be the target. The target can be picked to use a fight ability immediately after the fight ability used by this unit has been resolved. If it is picked to do so, the target can use 2 fight abilities this phase. After the first is used, however, the target has strike last for the rest of the turn. This is a classic chain activate, but then it has fight twice, which is cool. I feel like we haven't seen that yet, where a chain activation leads to fight twice. Normally, it's chain activate +1 to hit or +1 attacks or something like that. But
it does cost
this
a command point.
Yeah, and it's only once per battle, which is interesting.
But
to cost a command point once per battle is I don't know. I don't know if you're really going to use this that often, but
I don't know.
it's cool.
I think he's gonna make it in most of my lists because of this.
Yeah, with your Cavaliers going in and charging, and then
I think you put him in a cog fort with 10 gallants because you roll him out and then the gallants fight twice, and then
and you have the thing where he fights, the gallants fight, another unit fights,
another fights, and then the gallants fight
and then this
again.
unit fights. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, whew. And also you can and you can pick monsters. So Gate Gargants, you could technically have fight twice.
Talia,
you can have fight twice because it doesn't say not unique.
It doesn't say non-hero. It doesn't say non-hero monster either.
Yeah, so you could have those 2 fight twice if you want to. It's pretty. I mean, even just him swinging, then Talia swinging, and then Talia after fighting twice is.
Especially now that she'll be able to probably take a hit.
She can take a little bit more
yikes.
of a hit. Yeah, I mean, it's awesome. I love that ability. So,
yeah.
Yeesh. Yeah. Very good. Very good.
Very icky.
Should we move on to the Free Guild Cavalier Marshal?
Yeah.
Okay. This is the Cavalier hero. 10 move, 7 health, 3-up save, 2 control. Has a ranged weapon of 10 range, 4 attacks, 3s, 4s, run 1, damage 1. Cool. Melee weapons has charge +1 damage, 5 attacks, 3s, 4s, rend 1, damage 2, so 3 on the charge. And then the horse is 2 attacks, 5s, 3s, rend 0, damage 1. Where it shines is this ability. So it has 2 charge phase abilities. So pick a friendly, visible, non-hero Sigmarite cavalry unit. Cavaliers. I don't think there's another one, but Cavaliers. That's it. That is wholly within 12 inches of this unit and is not in combat and has not used a run ability this turn to be the target. After the countercharge command for this unit has been resolved, if this unit is in combat, the target can immediately use the charge ability as if it was your charge phase. In addition, you can reroll charges for that target for the rest of the phase. So, if you reroll or if you do a countercharge with the hero, Cavaliers can instantly use the charge phase ability to go with it, and it can reroll the charge. So that's awesome. And
some extra movement there.
Yeah, I mean, you can use the counter charge with the hero. You can use the charge phase order to up the charge if you need to, and then they get the charge right after that. So you'll instantly have Cavaliers and a hero instantly in combat. Not on your turn, which is just awesome. And crit morals, maybe.
Yeah, true.
But its other one is run down the foe. If this unit has charged this turn, pick this unit and up to 2 visible friendly non-hero Sigmarite cavalry units, cavaliers, I should just say that charge this turn and are wholly within 12 inches of this to be the target. For each target, make a pylon move, and then pick an enemy unit that is in combat with the target and roll d3 on a 2-up. It does that many mortals. I mean, so it's like impact hits, but for you and 2 other cavalry units.
They got the Seraphon pile in battle formation.
Yeah, but in the charge, so if you do the counter charge, you can in the charge phase, both of them can pile in and then do mortals. It's like, oh, I mean, it's cool. He's awesome.
Sounds like you're going to be countercharging in this edition compared
I know
to
I'd never counter
compared to
charge,
last.
but now I will be. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, whatnot. I mean, it's awesome. I love it.
Yeah, no, that's going to be.
And
that's
when you
fun.
see Cavaliers rules, ooh, it's good.
Yeah, they got to glow up as
Yep.
well.
Yep.
Okay, we'll move on to the Axian Pyrocaster. This is another one of the new heroes.
Yeah, the fire one.
Yeah, 5-inch move, 6-up save, which is questionable.
Yeah.
2 control, 5 health. He has a wizard 1. So melee weapons, you got the burning fists, 3 attacks, hitting on 4s, wounding on 4s, rend 1, damage d3. You've got his war scroll spell here, incandescent incineration, which just goes hard. 6 to cast. Pick a visible enemy unit within 12 inches of this unit to be the target, then make a casting roll of 2d6. If the target was not incandescent when they were picked to be the target of this spell, inflict d3 mortal damage on the target. The target is incandescent for the rest of the battle. If the target was incandescent when they were picked to be the target of this spell, allocate 3 damage points to the target. Ward rolls cannot be made for those damage points, and the target is no longer incandescent. So
torch him up.
Yeah, blast him.
Yeah. I mean, no ward, unwardable 3 damage flat is awesome.
Yeah. And so you just got to keep casting this. I feel like this is what this guy's here to do, is just cast his spell.
Beam spells, yeah.
Just keep on blasting people. Yep. And then his other ability is the Flames of Akshi. This is once per turn per army in your hero phase. Make an arcane manipulation roll of d6 on a 3+ for the rest of the turn. When picking a target for the incandescent incineration ability, you can pick a visible enemy unit within 18 inches of this unit instead of within 12.
Yep.
So
Ups
just
the range.
6 inches added onto the range.
Yep. And
Pretty
if you're
solid.
running the formation, it's a 2-up, right?
Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah, so just blast them from 3-point
further
land.
away. Yeah, I know.
just extend
cool.
that range.
I don't think he's like an auto take by any means, but he's cool.
No, but he's a dope model though.
Oh, the model's like one of the best wizards I've seen. Oh my gosh, yeah. Okay, and then we have the Amethyst Nail Mage, which is another wizard, same profile. I think to the T. Yep. So it has its spell, it's Deathly Candlelight, which is pick a visible enemy unit within 12 inches to be the target, make a casting roll of 2d6, and then it goes off on a 7. The target cannot use commands for the rest of the turn. I mean, awesome, cool. And then it has its Arcane Manipulation, where on a 3-up, the range is increased to an 18. So it's the same thing. But so on a 3-up, 2-up if you run in the formation, you can just 18-inch bubble of like no commands. So it's pretty cool. I mean, I still think the Fire Wizard is cooler because I like damage, but I mean, no commands is like, it's hard to beat that.
Yeah, no commands. No commands is awesome.
It's so evil, but yeah. So cool.
Also, baller model.
Also, model straight from like Dark Souls or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. He's got the bell on his head.
The bell that like they trying to like keep the voices of evil out of his dome. So
yeah. Pretty cool, I guess.
Yeah.
Moving on, we got Galen and Duralia Van Denst. These are some witch hunters. 5-inch move, 4-up save, 2 control, 5 health. Ranged weapons, you got the just a second, my screen is wigging out. Antithomic crossbow is anti-manifestation +1 rend and anti-wizard +1 rend. 18-inch range, 3 attacks, 3s, 4s, rend 1, damage 2. And then the spell banishing pistol, which just has shoot in combat. 10-inch range, 4 attacks, 3s, 4s, rend 1, damage 1. And then the consecrated blade, anti-wizard +1 rend here. 4 attacks, hitting on 3s, wounding on 4s, rend 1, damage 2. Their ability here is Guardian and Mentor. While this unit contains 2 models, it has a ward of 5+. So 5 up ward save as
Cool.
long as both of them are alive, which is pretty
Yep.
awesome. And then in your hero phase, you could have the Weapons of Banishment. Pick a visible, friendly Sigmarite unit wholly within 12 inches of this unit and under orders to be the target until the start of your next turn. While the target is wholly within 12 inches of this unit and under orders, add 1 to the damage characteristic of the target's weapons for combat attacks that target enemy wizards, priests, and manifestations. Once again, they're just the witch hunters, so they're just going to go hunt wizards, kill manifestations, and now buff other people that are trying to do the same
Yeah,
thing,
I mean,
which is cool.
you can't complain about that. They do what they did before, but just now everyone does it with them. It's like cool.
Yeah, especially like just using these guys when you look at some of those big hero wizards, those monster
Yeah.
wizards
Oh
that
yeah.
you've got out there. Like these guys are awesome for
Physic or
that.
something like that. Yeah.
Kairos,
Mhm.
Archeon, all kinds of stuff.
Yep. But okay. Then we get into Callus and Toll. So they're paired with Toll's companions. So I'll go through both of them pretty quick here.
Sweet.
But so Callus and Toll have the flintlock pistol. Oh, so they're 2 models, Callus and Toll. Move 5, 4 up save, 2 control, 5 health. They have the flintlock pistols, which are anti-wizard and shoot in combat. 10 range, 4 attacks, 3s, 4s, rend 1, damage 1. Cool. And then they have the Azurite blades, which are anti-wizard plus 1 rend. They're 4 attacks each, 3s, 4s, rend 1, damage 2. And so they have the ability Relentless Hunters. And this unit can use this ability if it is in the shadows, like basically Deep Strike. They pick an enemy. Oh wait, so if there's no enemy mark, pick an enemy hero on the battlefield to be the target. That hero becomes the mark. Then their other ability, right tool for the job, is double the damage characteristic of this unit's melee weapons if the target is the enemy mark. So they pick someone and they double their damage against that target. Used to be wizards and priests, but now it's just any hero they mark. They say, I'm gonna go.
Which I think is better.
I think it's better, but it is they double their damage with only their melee weapons now.
Yeah,
So
that's fair.
And then they have Toll's companions. So I'll just read them real quick. They have same profile, 5 up or 5 move, 4 up save, 1 control, and then but they have 3 health. And they have the assortment of weapons, exotic assortment of weapons, which is anti-wizard plus 1 rend. They have 4 attacks, 3s, 4s, rend 1, damage 1. And they have the ability where they can pick themselves and Callus and Toll, and they can set them up at Deep Strike, set them off the board, and then in your movement phase, you can set them up. Now, what you can do is when you set them up, you can set them anywhere on the board, uh, but you can set them up more than 6 inches away from the mark, or 9 inches from any other enemy. So if that mark is out there alone, set them up outside of 6, and then just probably murder that thing. And then while Callus and Toll are close to them, they have a 5 up board. So
Yeah, fairly similar to what they were before,
yep,
but now it's all based off of whatever the mark is
yep,
versus.
exactly. Rather than just a wizard or priest.
Which I still think, since they're all anti-wizard, I think you still end up picking a wizard hero for that.
Probably.
But
Unless there's like
but
a
like
hero that's out there.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
You got more options now, which is
yeah.
nice. Okay, awesome. So up next, we've got the Fusel Major on Warhulk. We got 3 up armor save, 6-inch move, 8 health, 2 control. Ranged weapons, you got the long Fusel. It's anti-hero still, and then crit auto wound, so that stays the same. 24-inch range, 2 attacks, hitting on 3s, wounding on 2s, rend 2, damage 2. And then the Warhulk's mace in melee, 4 attacks, hitting on 4s, wounding on 2s, rend 2, damage 2 as well. The shooting, what's the difference? It's 1 less attack, but now
One more
hit and
rend.
wound better.
Yeah, you drop an attack, you increase the rend by 1. And so when you're shooting a hero, you rend 3, which is pretty snipey.
Yeah,
And it wounds on 2s, so it's actually a better shot, I think. You drop an attack, but it's easier to wound, higher rend. So I think
yeah,
it's
little
better.
more consistent.
Yep, yep.
And then it has coordinate attacks. This is once per turn per army in your shooting phase. Pick a visible enemy unit within 24 inches of this unit to be the target. For the rest of the turn, add 1 to hit rolls for attacks made by friendly Sigmarite units that are under orders that target that enemy unit. This is better than what
This
his
just
thing
outright
was
better.
before,
Yep.
because
I mean,
now
kinda.
instead of having to shoot that unit, you can pick a different one.
Yep.
So you might not necessarily want to shoot him into something that you need to be +1 attack or +1 to
Exactly.
hit.
Yep.
But it's still in combat and ranged, which is still bonkers to me that it's
Yeah.
in combat as well.
And you also get, if you do, I mean, he would be 2s and 2s to shoot whatever is marked.
Yeah, true.
So that's pretty sweet.
Because it doesn't say other units; it includes him.
Exactly.
As long as he's under orders as well.
Correct. Yes, and maybe
But
he's not. So maybe that's a good point. But okay,
but
well,
still, I mean, he's just going to be a little more consistent with the
yeah.
shots
I mean,
now.
still
Because
awesome.
I feel like every time you'd shoot him before, unless you got an auto wound, it would only ever be like one hit, one
Yeah,
wound kind of thing.
exactly. And you take him for his ability. I mean,
Yep.
that's really
Yeah,
it.
putting all your stuff +1 to hit, especially now that Cavaliers are 3s to hit, and a lot of stuff is. I feel like a lot of the gallants are 3s to hit, right? Or are they 4s as well?
Gallants are 3s, I believe.
Yeah. So a lot of your stuff is going to be +1 to hit, just going down to 2s or at worst 3s to
Yep.
hit now
Yep.
with that, which is pretty awesome.
So,
But
okay, well, that is it for the heroes. Should we move on to the actual units here?
yeah. No, you're good.
All right, so starting off, our first unit is kind of a weird one. It's the Free Guild Command Corps. So now the Command Corps, it used to be a unit of six models that in 3rd edition did a lot of random things. 4th edition Index, they did one thing, but for 6 models. So now what you do is you pay the points for the unit, but you get 3 separate units. So they can kind of move independently as 2s and 1s. So or 1 unit of 2, 1 unit of 3, and then 1 unit of 1. So all of them have their kind of own little roles here. Let's see, I gotta actually zoom in to this because. So first we have the Free Guild Command Corps Adjuncts, and so this one is the Great Weapon guy, the dog, and the banner. So that's this 3 units. So you have their weapons is 3 attacks, 4s, rend 1, damage 2. Not bad. I mean, better than what it used to be of damage D3, I think. And then their ability is pick a friendly Sigmarite unit wholly within 12 inches of this unit and then are under orders. And then, it's this screenshot's a little iffy here. And then if this unit is in combat, apply the effects below. Otherwise, roll a dice on a 3-up. So if you aren't under orders, you still get the chance to actually uh,
Yeah.
do this. But then add 5 to the target's control score at the end of until you start of the next turn.
Which it
Cool.
could be this own unit too, because it doesn't say
Yes.
other samurai units. So these guys were already a control score nightmare, and now it's even more so.
Yeah, and especially and to note, to to form up to use orders, you have to pick 3 units. These are 3 units, so you could travel these guys almost as one unit, and will
Okay.
always be formed up because they're the 3 units next to each other. So it's something
Oh,
to note.
I see. So when you're attacking these guys too, you have to specify which ones you're swinging into because they
Yeah.
have different saves.
Uh-huh.
Interesting.
Yeah, they're all different units. So and adding 5 to the control score, I will say you add 5 to this units, the next units, and then the other units. So it could be like control 20 for all 3 or all 6 of these guys. I don't know the math, but something like that.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah,
it gets crazy.
it gets crazy. So I'll read the other ones. So these are the auxiliaries. This is the medic dude with the bone saw, and the necromancer dude with the golem and pipe looking
The
thing.
soul shepherd and the war
Yeah,
surgeon.
yeah, that's the one. So they have a once per turn army in in your hero phase ability. So if this unit contains a soul shepherd, which is the flute dude, pick a visible enemy unit within 18 inches of this unit to be the target. Roll a dice. On a 3-up, this target cannot be healed or have slain models return to that unit until the start of your next turn. I mean, that is a devastating ability right there.
Yeah. No
Like
rally.
no rally, no
No.
recursion,
Nothing.
no healing. Whew. That's crazy.
Yikes.
So then the other ability they have is once per turn in the army at the end of any turn. If you have a war surgeon, you can pick a friendly non-war machine Sigmarite unit wholly within 12 of this unit to be the target, and then roll a dice on a 3-up. If the target is a non-hero infantry unit, return D3 slain models to it. If it is a non-hero cavalry unit, return 1 slain model to it. If it is a target hero or monster, heal D3. I think it's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
To note, healing D or bringing back D3 models it just has infantry in it. So gallants are 2 health. You could bring D3 of those back, so that you could bring technically 6 health of gallants back. Something to note. Okay, and then the last one here, I gotta, is the Whisper Blade. So this is just the little assassin dude. So he has the Enchanted Rapier, which is 4 attacks, 3s, 4s, rend 2, damage 2. And then this unit can not be used to pick to form abilities. So remember that thing that I just really said? Take that away. You can't do that. This guy
Not
cannot
this
be
guy.
picked to form up. Yeah, so interesting rule. I mean, kind of. But then while this unit is wholly within combat range of a friendly Sigmar infantry unit that has 3 or more models that are under order, Whisper Blades within that unit's combat range cannot be picked to be the target of shooting or combat attacks. So it's just like invisible. Like it's pretty gnarly. Like you can't pick it to even fight it, even if you're in
Yeah,
combat range with it. So
that's wild. Yeah.
yeah, it's pretty crazy. I also forgot to like mention any of these guys' characteristics. So the Whisper Blade has a 5-inch move, 3 health, 6 up save, and 2 control. So not awesome. The
Yeah.
auxiliaries, the doctors have a 5. They have the same thing. So 5 move, 6 up save, 2 control, 3 health. But what's different is the adjuncts, the hammer dude and the dog. They have a 4 up save, 5-inch move, well, 1 control, works control for some reason, and then 3 health. So
Yeah. So that unit as a whole, the base unit has it's 4, 6, it's 9 control between 6 models. It's pretty good.
yes, yeah.
And then if you get a +5 on any there, that's 14.
Well, no, you +5 per unit, so it'd be +5 to the adjuncts, +5 to auxiliaries, +5 to the Whisper Blade.
So they do still have to be coherent and everything. Then you can't just like run them off
No.
separate.
They could be separate. So wait, no, you only pick. Oh, you just pick one
That's
unit.
yeah. That's
Sorry.
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
I
Like it's
was I
only.
was thinking it was an aura, but yeah, no,
I
it's
was like if that was an aura, these guys are control
yeah, like 40.
23.
No, they sorry. Yeah, you pick a unit. That's my bad. So
Yeah. Do you think these guys are better or worse than what they were?
I think better. I mean, they're not as like hitty. Like the Command Corps were like the kind of the mid infantry hammer of cities before. Now they kind of go back to what they were before, and that's provide different um, roles. I think you take them for the auxiliaries alone of the shutting off
Yeah.
healing and healing. I think you spend the points for that. So I don't know, maybe far less, but I like the healing of the D3 infantry models a lot, and one
Yeah.
cavalry too is
That
pretty
is
good.
nice.
So I think better is what I'd say, but that's all point dependent.
Sweet.
But
We should go on to the Gate Gargants, another new unit. These guys are going to be fun. I think
yeah,
these guys are going to be awesome.
I think this is the star of
Um,
the show. I think other
yeah,
than
yeah.
COGFORTS.
Outside of the Cogfort, which has taken a lot of the headlines, these guys are really awesome pieces on the board, and then are going to be really useful to your
Hmm.
army as well.
Yep.
3 up armor save, 6 up ward save base, which is kind of crazy. 8-inch move, 10 health, and 5 control. It's a unit of 2, so you got 20 health in there,
Yeah.
correct?
Yep.
Which is even better than we thought because we were saying 8 health and they're 10 health each,
Yeah,
which is
I
awesome.
don't know what I was looking at when I thought the 8 health, but yeah, there's so you can't rally them back.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Dang it.
But the uh, the scatter shot cannons, range weapon, 10-inch range, 5 attacks, 4s, 3s, rend 1 damage D3. And then in melee, you've got the massive war maul, 5 attacks, 4s, 2s, rend 2 damage 3. So pretty solid
Yeah.
overall. There, nothing too crazy, but it's the abilities that are going to make it. No, I'm not going to say an auto include, but they're going to be very useful if you do bring them.
Yeah.
Uh, Once per turn per army in your movement phase, you can use aggressive defenders. Pick up to 3 other visible friendly Sigmarite units in combat with any enemy units that are in combat with this unit to be the targets. Each target can use shoot and or charge abilities, even if it used a retreat ability in the same turn. In addition, no mortal damage is inflicted on the targets by retreat abilities for the rest of the turn. So essentially, anything that's in combat with something that's in combat with these guys has retreat, shoot, charge.
Yep.
So I kind of just imagine you're just sitting these guys on your front line.
Yep.
COG-FORTS right behind it. Other units are right behind it.
Cavalry right next to it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You get tied up, and then everything can. I mean, it's 3 units, which is a ton. Considering that now that we have the points, you're not going to have too many units. I feel like if you're bringing a cog fort, and so being able to do this with 3 units is going to be very nice.
Yep. And they're move 8. They're not slow.
Yeah, and then here's the other one that's going to be awesome. Once per turn per army in any charge phase, open the gates. Pick a visible friendly non-war machine cities of Sigmar unit wholly within 12 inches of this unit to be the target. Add 2 to charge rolls for the target for the rest of the turn.
Yeah.
I can with all the counter charge shenanigans you already have. These guys being able to add 2 to that counter charge on top of everything. They can't pick the cog fort,
No.
obviously,
Yeah.
but I mean, if you have your free
Oh.
Cavalier Marshal,
Yeah,
and then he chains the other guys, and they're all
they
just
all
gonna be,
charge in at plus the Marshal would be plus, or I guess they'd all be +2, but then the Cavaliers would have a reroll to that charge on a counter charge.
So yeah, so the strat is probably if you counter charge with the Marshal and give him the +2 because it's only 1 unit, but
Yep.
then you have the reroll on the counter charge with the Cavaliers. Like, I think this is gonna be fun. This is gonna be really cool, and just lore wise, open the gates. They just like go.
Yeah, no,
That's pretty awesome.
That's an awesome unit.
Yeah, they're gonna be so cool, and they're just another cool model on the board.
Oh, I mean, it's very Age of Sigmar model. It's just dudes holding gates.
Yep.
with
the guy up in the
giant
crow's nest
shotgun
up there.
on crow's nest. Yeah, and the crow's nest make like the arch of the door.
Yeah, it's
so.
very cool.
But yeah, awesome. So then we get into the actual new units here. So we have the Grenadiers, the Free Guild Grenadiers. So this is their move 5, their 1 health, 4 up save, 1 control. They have a ranged weapon of the Ruin Sweeper Arsenal, which is 10-inch range, 1 attack, 4s, 2s, rend 2, damage 1. And then their melee weapon is 2 attacks, 4s, 4s, rend 1, damage 2. So pretty decent combat, both in shooting and in melee. They have some ways to swing. But then they have the ability of Cinders and Ashes. So once per turn at the end of any turn, so every turn, you can, if this unit contains a Cinder Gout, which is the flamethrower dude, pick a terrain feature or objective contested by this unit. Then pick any enemy units contesting that terrain feature or objective to be the target. And then roll d3 for each target. On a 2-up, inflict that many mortal damage equal to the roll. I mean, it just does extra damage. I'm all for it.
Yeah, some chip damage, especially if you have. I mean, is it? I guess I read that wrong. It's just 1 unit on an objective, not
It's
every unit on the objective.
It's every.
Oh yeah, okay. No, I did see that right the first time.
Yep.
Which yeah, someone's just camped out on an objective. They have a little hero back there, just chipping into all that.
Yeah,
awesome.
You have to be contesting it, so it's like if you run up to like a big terrain feature, you could just pop it off and stuff like that. Or obviously, if you're fighting, you're probably going to be fighting on or next to an objective. So
yeah.
So I don't think. I mean, I'm all for it.
And it being end of any turn, like if you left a guy alive on a wound, you have a chance to just pick him off, which is always awesome because I feel like that happens a lot where you're like, man, I was 1 off or I was 2 off, like it was so close, and you're like, D3, hopefully.
Yeah, and take in mind anything melee profile wise, just if it's infantry, imagine it +1 damage if you put it out of the cog fort. So Grenadiers are base damage too, which is pretty awesome. We're guessing they can't be reinforced, so you'd have a unit of 10 of them bust out of the cog fort at damage 3. I mean, so that's pretty awesome. They're 4s and 4s, which kind of hurts, but there's ways to get around that.
I was gonna say, but yeah, that's where you get the Fusel Major to get +1 onto something, so you're 3s and 4s. You got Crit Mortals with the Alchemite Warforger at damage 3. Like there's so many combos that just just work.
The Crit Mortals you will never be able to get out of the cog fort because
they're
off the board. Yeah. So but still
damage
even
3. Crit Mortals at 2s is awesome.
Yeah. I think that would be the trick, is just keeping them next to a Warforger and just I mean, awesome. But
next, another new unit. We've got the Free Guild Gallants. 5-inch move, 3-up save, 1 control, 2 health. They've got the weapons of gallantry. I also just love all the names of the,
Yeah, I know.
weapons. They're all so good in
Yeah.
this book. 2 attacks, hitting on 3s, wounding on 4s, rend 1, damage 1. Nothing too crazy there. And then not 1 step back. It's a passive ability. If this unit has not used a charge ability this turn, add 1 to the attack characteristic and damage characteristics of this unit's melee weapons. So I'm seeing these guys as like your frontliners with that,
Yep.
because like if you get charged, +1 to attacks and +1 to damage, so they're 3 attacks at damage 2 now, and Alchemy Warforgers there, Gremortals, like
And wait till you read the next ability. Yeah.
exactly. Break them upon the walls. While this unit is under orders, the melee weapons of other visible friendly Sigmarite units, excluding Free Guild Gallant units, have anti-charge +1 rend while they're wholly within 12 of this unit. So your darn Gate Gallants, Gargants,
Yeah.
rend 3 in
Rend 3.
combat.
Yeah, and so if you have them in the front, everything else with them, other than them, have
Yeah.
anti-charge. Which, and don't forget that there's the order of giving you +1 rend. That's not
Yeah. So
this.
you have a pretty easy way to be, +2
plus
to
2
rend
rend if you get
onto a
charged.
unit.
Yeah.
And since this is an aura, this too, so
Yep.
this is just everybody. It's not like
Everyone
you pick
who's
these guys.
under-ordered.
It's everybody.
Yep.
And like we've been talking about it already, you're going to be castling up quite a bit. Like
Yeah.
most of your stuff is going to be within 12 of everything else.
And
So
it's just anti-charge. Yeah, it's gonna
what
be
if
nuts.
we didn't charge Cities of Sigmar ever?
Yeah. And so these guys, I think, are gonna be like the main staple, I think, of most lists.
They're a unit of 5, right? So reinforcing
unit
them
of
puts them up to
5.
10.
Yep. Now, one thing to note, and this could be FAQ, but I think it's intended currently, because in the recent Warcom articles they featured this, or they kind of talked about this very briefly. So the not 1 step back is if you have not used a charge ability this turn.
Mm-hmm.
COGFORT Sally Forth, which deploys you in combat and gives you +1 charge, is technically not a charge phase ability.
Yeah, it doesn't say this unit counts as having been charged, because the KO boats do that.
It says
this unit counts as having
it
been
says
charged.
you have charged, like it says like they have charged, but it doesn't have the charge keyword. So you get the results of the charge, but not having actually charged.
Yeah.
So you still get the +1 to damage and +1 attacks, and the +1 damage from the charge. So you could get gallants up to damage 3 as well. At 3 attacks, 3s, 4s, rend 1, damage 3. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
They're gonna be nuts.
I mean, I think there's going to be a lot. I think Games Workshop's just going to have to clarify a lot whether it was intentional or it wasn't. Because, like you said, this is a very wordy book, and I think the average AOS player is going to be a little confused, and you're going to pull up to tournaments, and people are going to say, "No, it's this. No, it's this. No, it's this." So I think immediately they're going to have to go through and just clarify everything. Yep. Which, I mean, I'm all about, and I think with the attention, we've talked about this earlier, the attention that Games Workshop is putting into Age of Sigmar, I wouldn't be surprised if it's pretty quick out the gates where they say, "Oh yeah, we need to just clarify some things."
Well, they should just
put
do
some
editor's
attention into
notes like all the time, but
exactly, yeah,
it is what it is.
But yeah, the new stuff is looking awesome.
Yeah,
we'll get to an old unit here, the Free Guild Steel Helms.
Yeah, so these guys, 5 move, 4 up save, control 1, health 1. They have their free guild weapons, which is 2 attacks, 4s and 4s, rend 0, damage 1. And then, so they're really just there. But their ability is where they shine. They're back in the limelight, I think. So their ability is Steel of Helm and Heart, which is, awesome name. It's once per turn, any combat phase, if this unit has 5 or more models, pick an enemy unit in combat with them to be the target. If this unit is under orders, apply the effect below. Otherwise, subtract 1 from the roll if the target is a monster, but on a 4-up, apply the effect. So you can still do it if you're not under orders. For the rest of the turn, if this unit is in combat with the target is picked. When the target is picked to use the fight ability, this unit must be picked the target of the pile-in moves made by the target. So they have to pile into them. That's Steel Helms. And all attacks made by the model is on the target unit with the unit's combat range must target this unit. So anything that can fight the steel helms has to fight the steel helms. It's just like get down, Mr. President kind of ability. Like,
Yeah, the taunt to get
yeah.
everybody in on them.
So like,
It is a 4-up and then it's a 5-up against monsters, so it's not super consistent. But when it does go off, it's gonna
well,
be awesome.
unless you're under ordered, because then it's free.
Oh yeah, yeah, you just apply
Yeah.
it. Yeah, that's a nice thing. Like we
Yeah.
talked about that earlier in the video too, is how it's a roll or you just get
There's
it.
always the chance for it, even if you're not.
Yeah.
So I mean,
So are you taking a unit of 10 of these guys? You
I
taking a
think I'm
unit of
taking
20 of these
20.
guys?
I think I'm gonna take a
Yeah.
block of 20, and like, imagine like the Cavaliers or something like that, and like you countercharge, like you say someone charges you into something like uh, Gate Gargants or something like that, and then you countercharge Steel Helms in. You give the +2 to the Steel Helms charge and say, "Oh yeah, now you have to attack my Steel Helms."
Yeah. Well,
And
I'm sure there's ways to block it out. So like you can only just barely get in there, and then their pile-in is
exactly,
wacky, and so they can't really
yeah.
max out their attacks into these guys anyways.
Well, luckily, to the other point, it says within the unit's combat range have to target this unit. So things that cannot pile like fight the Steel Helms can still fight something
Still
else.
fight other stuff.
So, but I mean, like, if someone charges your Gate Gargants, the Gate Gargants you can give the order to give +1 rend because they got charged, but because they and then you countercharge the Steel Helms in, and then force them to attack the Steel Helms, your Gate Gargants get the benefit of being charged but not actually attacked. So it's like, just I don't know. It's menacing. But
Yeah. Yeah, the trick to this whole army is just going to be, can you get the orders,
yep,
under orders onto the right people
or
at the
everyone.
right times? And that's
Yep,
I feel like that's going to take a minute to figure out
it's gonna be
because
the crux for sure.
it's going to be a grind.
Yep, but
Awesome.
yeah,
We'll move on here to the Free Guild Cavaliers. We got a 10-inch movement, 3-up armor save, 1 control, 3 health. Melee weapons, you got the Cavalier weapon, charge +1 damage, which is always awesome. 3 attacks, hitting on 3s, wounding on 4s, rend 1, damage 1. And then the horses, 2 attacks, hitting on 5s, wounding on 3s, no rend, damage 1. Um, these guys are just tanky. They've always been tanky. They're just
yep.
going to take hits. But their ability here, once per turn per army in any charge phase, the Storm of Steel. If this unit is in combat and has not charged this turn, pick an enemy unit that is in combat with and up to 1 friendly Free Guild Cavalier Marshal within this unit's combat range to be the targets. If this unit is under orders, apply the effect. Otherwise, roll a dice on a 3+, apply the effect below. This unit and the friendly target can use the charge ability even if it is not your charge phase, and even if those units are in combat. Both friendly units must end that move in combat with the enemy target.
More wordy.
So yeah, so this is just you get the charge effect,
Well, and you roll the
and,
dice.
and you get to move. Yeah,
Yep, yep.
and it's both of them too. So
It's both of them.
it's going to be tricky because you got to be within the combat range of each
Yeah,
other to do it. But I mean, I feel like if you're charging the Cavalier Marshal, these guys are just charging in right after him, right next to him.
exactly.
So I don't think it's going to be like too crazy, but there's going to be times where you pile in a certain way, and then it's going to be
Yeah, especially if you got charged, then you're probably going to be next to the Cav Marshal, and then they both kind of move in.
yeah.
So I mean, you have to end the move within the enemy target range, but you could like really kind of like get move tricky with it. But and
Yeah.
then you get the charge +1 damage. So it's I mean, and you also got charged. So yeah, which is always good. You could have anti-charge +1 rend with
Anti-charge
gallants.
+1 rend,
Yeah,
and yeah, it's any number of
any
anti-charge mechanics that this army
yes, yeah, it's
has.
crazy, but I mean they're awesome. So
Yeah.
I'll be taking some of those as always.
Yep. Yep.
Okay, we have the Free Guild Fusiliers. So this is a 5-inch move, 4-up save, 1 control, and 1 health. They have their Fusel cannons. It changed a little bit, so it's 18-inch range, the same as last, but it's now 1 attack, 4s to hit, 2s to wound, 2 rend, and damage 1. And then they have the bayonet for melee, which is 1 attack, 4s, rend 0, damage 1. So it's less half the attacks, but it's more rend and it's easier to wound. So I think it's better. I think the math is almost almost the same, but maybe a little
Yeah.
bit better. Because obviously
Yeah.
Ren 2 is going to be better into like 3-ups, 4-ups. So, and then they have the passive fortified position. While this unit is under orders, this unit's ranged weapons can have shoot in combat, which is awesome. And then subtract 1 from the Ren characteristic of friendly weapons used for the attacks that target this unit. So it's the same rules that they had before, but they can move their full distance and still get this fortified
Mm-hmm.
order. So then they have once per battle reaction you declared a shoot ability for this unit. It's the Black Powder Squire, so which is the little token that they have with them. And so this unit's Black Powder Squire token. Remove this unit's token from the battlefield, then add 1 to the Ren characteristic of the unit's ranged weapons for the rest of the turn. So once per game you can pop the token and get Ren 3,
Way
which
better than
is
what it was.
way better than what it was. The reroll
Like
1 guy.
infinitely better
Yeah,
than
and
what it
usually he
was.
died the first time anyway as I rerolled a Fusilier shot. So, yeah, I mean, awesome. I think these guys are
Yeah,
awesome.
these guys got a pretty big blow
A
up.
big
I mean,
blow
even
up.
just the Squire in and of itself. That
Yeah,
if that was the
yeah.
only difference, that would be so much
Yeah.
better.
The Rend 3 on one shot is like, okay, whatever I'm going to shoot. And then there's infinite ways to get +1 attack, right? So it's like, I'll be 3-2's Rend 3 damage 1. It's pretty menacing. I mean,
Yeah. You got a ton of ways to get +1 to
I
hit.
think it's pretty
Exactly.
equivalent to like the Hellsmith's Blunderbuss, like,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's double the models but half the damage. So I think it's like
Yeah. Well, if you're +1
to
to hit
hit
and you do the rend, it's the same profile
as
essentially, other than it's damage 1.
yep,
But you have
you have
twice as many
double the
models. Like, the math
models.
is
Yep,
about the same there.
yep. So I think it's pretty similar, which feels good because getting shot by the blunderbuss always feels rough. So I'm like,
It's
all
a
right,
nightmare.
yeah. So I can return the favor a little bit.
Yeah. And the fact that these guys are just base rend too, because the Hellsmiths you have to kind of put some stuff on. You have to
Exactly.
put the points on them.
Yep.
So it's a little more. This is a little less work to do about the same,
Yep.
roughly.
Yeah. About.
But
Okay.
yeah. And then we've got the cannon. I was
Yep.
reading up on this. This is looking awesome.
Yeah.
3-inch move, 4-up save, 2 control, 6 health. They went down 2 health, correct? They were 8
Yep.
health
They were 8
before.
health. Yeah.
But the cannon, 24-inch range, 3 attacks instead of 2. 4s to hit, 2s to wound, rend 2 damage, D3 +2. That's all the same except for the +1 attack, which is awesome
Yep.
because the cannons being 2 shots was a little
It's a little rough.
tricky if you were
Yeah.
running the formation for
Yep.
it. And then the crew, 2 attacks, hitting on 4s, wounding on 4s, no rend damage 1. And then their ability here is Relentless Bombardment. This is once per turn per army in any shooting phase. Pick an enemy unit that was targeted by this unit's shooting attacks to be the target. Roll a dice, add 1 to the roll if this unit is under orders. On a 3+, subtract 2 from charge rolls and run rolls for the target until the start of your next turn. So on top of all of the anti-charge stuff, this is just going to make it harder to
Yeah.
charge in
Yeah.
general.
Exactly. It's like if you might just fail your charge. Yeah.
Yeah.
I,
And this one is the first one we've seen in a minute that isn't just an automatic one. I mean, granted, it's a 3-up, and then if it's under orders, it's +1.
it's +1. Yep.
So it's a 2-up most of the time, I feel like. And it is once per turn per army. So if you had multiple cannons, you couldn't just like that unit's -2 to charge, that unit's
Yes.
-2 to charge,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
unit's
Yeah.
-2 to charge.
Yeah. And
But still, like it's already going to be hard enough to talk yourself into charging into Cities of Sigmar, and this just makes it harder to do in general.
even if you convince yourself into it, yeah, it's like
Yeah,
you might
even
be
if you see an opportunity,
you
this
might
might
be
just be like,
-2.
oh.
Yeah.
And it's
No.
the start of your next turn, so I mean,
So
if they were thinking about a counter charge somewhere with that unit, but I don't know.
yeah. No, it's crazy. And while Scourge of Iran exists, cannons are gonna be stupid. Like, because you could still run the cannoneer sub
Yeah,
formation, and
yeah,
you 3 attacks now, and you can still reroll. So
yeah,
for the month that it's still there, but
for the month that it overlaps with this.
you bet I'm running 3 cannons with 3 attacks a pop now.
Yeah. Why you yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so the next unit is the Wilder Core Hunter. So this is a pretty goofy one. I believe this is our last unit too. So
Yep.
they're 5-inch move, 5-up save, 1 health, 1 control. They have the hunting crossbow. They got rid of like the big Arbalest crossbow, which is kind of a tragedy, but
Yeah,
it's
huge bummer.
15-inch range, 2 attacks a pop, 4s to hit, 4s to wound, rend 1, damage 1. And then they have the Willow Corp hunting weapons, which is 2 attacks, 4s, rend 0, damage 1. And then they have the dogs, which are 2 attacks, 4 force rend, 0 damage 1. So it's a little worse for the dogs, but they have a crazy ability, and this is the Expert Pathfinders. So in the deployment phase, once per turn per army, so you can only do this once. If you had multiple units of Wielder Core, you could still only do this once. But you pick this unit and up to 2 friendly non-monster, non-war machine Sigmar units, and if none of them have been deployed, set those units up in reserve for scouting ahead. They have now been deployed. So you reserved them and 2 other units in reserve. And so then once per turn in the movement phase, pick this unit of its scouting ahead. If it's scouting ahead, set up this unit on the battlefield wholly within 9 inches of the battlefield and more than 9 inches from all enemy units, and then set up the other friendly units of scouting ahead wholly within 12 inches of this unit and more than 9 inches of all enemy units. So you could deep strike this guy and 20 Cavaliers if you really wanted to.
Yeah, you go Cav Marshal, 20 Cavalier.
Or Cav Marshal him and then 10 Cavaliers.
Yeah.
And then just like do the charge phase order and just say I'm going in. Yeah, it's. I mean,
Yep.
I don't know if it's worth it, but it's cool. I mean, I'm all for it.
I mean, the fact that you have as much deep strike
Yeah,
with these guys as some of these other armies that like
exactly.
base their whole thing off of deep strike is
Yeah.
hilarious to me.
Oh yeah. No, it's nuts. So I mean, I can't complain. I don't know what.
I don't think this is the play style, but like if you wanted to, you could do stuff
Yeah. Oh
with
yeah.
it.
And like even like just grabbing a far off objective, it's still good if you want to put them in like a. I don't know. Yeah, like another thing of Cav or something that's fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm all for it. But
Yeah, you pull up to the battlefield, and the only things you deploy are the cog fort and your gate gargants.
yeah,
Everything else is in
yeah,
reserve.
yeah. I
Yikes.
know. Ooh. But that's it for the units.
Yep.
So then we just have the
Yeah, we just
faction
got
terrain.
the faction terrain here.
Yep.
The Donner's Triumph, which I will say, pretty baller model,
Pretty
and it's
baller
huge.
model, and it's tall. Yeah, it's a
Like
big boy.
we love some centerpiece kind of things, and
Yeah.
this is gonna. I mean, it's super tall.
Yep.
So it doesn't have a move characteristic, but it's got a 4-up armor save, 6-up ward save, no control, and then it's 8 health. Its abilities here. This is once per turn per army. It's a reaction when you declare a normal move ability for Cities of Sigmar infantry unit within 3 of this terrain feature. After that normal move ability has been resolved, pick a point on the battlefield within 1 inch of the unit that used that ability and within 6 inches of this terrain feature. Remove this terrain feature from the battlefield and set it up again within 1 inch of that point and more than 3 inches from all enemy units. So while it doesn't have a move characteristic, it can kind of do this little teleport shuffle.
They're just
around.
dragging it with them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're just yoinking it around.
Yep.
And then its other ability is Fury of the Faithful. This is any combat phase. Pick a visible enemy unit within 6 inches of this terrain feature to be the target. If this terrain feature is in combat, apply the effect below. Otherwise, roll a dice on a 3+. Apply the effect below. For the rest of the turn, melee weapons used by friendly cities of Sigmar infantry and cavalry units have crit auto wound for attacks that target that enemy unit. Pretty cool. I feel like just dragging it around is gonna be. I don't know because you're gonna be in your castle, so this is gonna be pretty easy to just keep close. But
it's such a
to
tight
automatically
range
have it go
for
off, it has to be in combat. But I mean, it's a 3+, so it's not like impossible to get off either
and it's
way.
a tight range of 6 inches of this, so it's like,
Yeah,
I mean, it's free, so I'll take it, obviously.
yeah.
But, and if it happens, it happens. It's great. But if like I'm not too.
No, this isn't like a make or break.
Like I will leave this
part with the
behind
army.
if things happen, right? Like I mean,
Yeah.
I won't always have to drag it with me, but
Yeah, I will say crit auto wound for this army is awesome because you're
very
wounding
good.
on 4s most
A
of the
lot of
time.
forced wound.
So it's like I would love something like this with my Ideneth Deepkin where I'm wounding on 4s a ton.
Yeah.
Like this would be a huge plus. But like you said, like if you're not gonna focus your entire game plan around dragging this around. Like you'll drag it around for as long as you can, but then if you gotta go, you gotta go.
Yeah, because what's better than crit auto wound? Crit mortals. And that's
Crit
a
Mortys,
2-up.
baby.
Yeah, yeah. Well, a 2-up with the formation, but still, it's like
Yeah.
I don't know. It's not enough to have to worry about it, I think. But still cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks
I mean,
awesome.
and it's gonna be cool. It'll look cool on a display board. Like
Yeah, they took it straight from Adeptus Sororitas, it feels like, and they crammed it in Cities of Sigmar.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm all for it. It's like a walking memorial / monument. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
I'm all
Awesome.
for
But
it.
that's the book.
That's
So
the book.
what are your kind of final thoughts here with these guys?
I mean, awesome. I cannot complain at all. I think the book writers, I think this, let alone, I love the direction of this. I hope that stays. We obviously don't know how good it's going to be. I think it is going to be very good, and I think it will kind of dominate for a little bit. That being said, I don't know. I hope when it does get nerfed, because I would assume it probably will, it keeps its identity like it is. The identity of this book is amazing. Like I mean, when they showed the teaser, the whole theme of the video was like, "We are the wall," and this feels like we are the wall. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
we are marching forward, and if you want to come get us, you'll pay the price. And it feels like that. It's crazy. I mean, and any book to introduce a cog for
Yeah.
is a victory.
Absolute Warhammer.
Yeah, cinema. Yeah, yeah. So I can't.
I
Yeah.
I feel like the writers have really done a good job with the last few books of tying in the lore into the play style. Like Sylvaneth, it truly feels like
Oh,
the way that it plays. You're lost in the forest and you're just getting sniped by these random things.
yeah. Just
This
getting.
feels like you said, the wall here, where you don't want to charge into this. They're gonna sit there and take it, and then they're
Yeah.
gonna hit you
Dish it
back.
back.
But
No, it feels great.
I really hope that these guys become kind of the poster boy for Age of Sigmar and kind of take
Yeah.
that title away from Stormcast, because
It's a tall
I think
ask,
Stormcast
but
is cool, but I think these guys, from the aesthetic wise, are much cooler and much cooler as like the heroes of the story, so to speak,
oh yeah,
because it is just like the regular
the
guys just trying to
dudes.
survive.
Yeah, like the
So
normal dudes who are like, "Oh, how do we fight against demons and giants and crap? We build our own giants and stuff like that."
yeah,
So
yeah. I think this is gonna be a really fun army. It's gonna be interesting to see what what the meta comes out with these guys, like what lists you're able to build and what combos you're able to do and what synergy is going to connect
yeah,
all the units to everybody else. That's going to be very interesting to see how it all comes together in the next coming months.
yep,
But yeah, we'll get here
and
in a little bit. We'll
yeah,
get a points video out. Corey's going to make some lists.
yep,
We'll talk about the armies of renown
exactly.
and the regiments of renown here in another video. We don't have time. This is already way too
Yeah, we
long.
went. We yapped too much, but yeah, we'll go over the army of renown. Obviously, the regiments of renown of the outlaw COGFORTS, because everyone wants to know about that, right? So we'll talk about that, and then yeah, we'll go over some lists and what's, and then I'll practice some games so I can report a little bit more on what they play
Yeah,
like.
we're gonna try and get one here in a couple of days
Yep,
and test it out and kind of see what it looks like.
yep,
But if you watched up to this point and you're not subscribed, I don't know what you're doing.
yeah,
Subscribe to our channel, give us a like, comment what you think about the army. Um, Comment what you kind of are thinking for your lists too. We're always kind of curious to see what people are wanting to put together and what combos people come up with, because we just do this for fun. We're not world class players necessarily.
no,
This is a hobby for us first and foremost. So we do appreciate you guys watching this video and subscribing, liking, commenting, all that good stuff. But we'll see you on the next one. We got more of this stuff coming out soon, hopefully.
yep.
So
Okay, see
we'll
you
see ya.
around.